His clarity and peace about the sunset of his work. Hunter Biden is on Capitol Hill giving a closed-door deposition in the impeachment probe of his father and accusing House Republicans of pursuing baseless conspiracy theories.
Hunter Biden is being defiant and also dishonest.
South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace says some early testimony conflicts with other witnesses. Democrats say Republicans are on a fishing expedition after a former FBI informant was accused of making up bribery allegations and charged. The Texas governor declares a disaster in 60 counties as wildfires in the Panhandle force evacuations, one growing to the second largest in state history, the Smokehouse Creek fire expanding to nearly 800 square miles.
That's about half the size of the state of Rhode Island and is now 5 times the size it was on Monday when it began. Dry grass, strong winds, and warm temperatures have fed the fires, but so far officials haven't said what actually started them.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. America is listening to Fox News.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included when you buy an extended Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. Online only. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Lots of sunshine out there, but it stays windy and cold. The good news, the winds will be slowly diminishing, but 39, that's it for the high. Quite a change from yesterday when we hit 84. Tonight, clear, cold, light winds down to 22. On Thursday, sunny skies, cold start, chilly day, 48 degrees. Friday, sunny skies in the afternoon after some morning clouds, and 58. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I know we're all busy. We're working, we're running errands, trying to take care of the kids. It's really easy to put things off. One thing you do not want to put off, though, your annual eye exam. The doctors at Ophthalmology Associates not only gave me the most thorough eye exam I've ever had, but they're also experts in the diagnosis and treatment of all diseases of the eye. Everything from dry eye to macular degeneration and cataracts. Think about this. Your eye health is the window into your overall body health. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranja Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and Samuel Berry, they can look at your eyes and even tell in some cases if you have early stage diabetes, heart disease, lung problems, even some forms of cancer. They're called the doctor's doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors. The best part about this is that most insurance plans cover the cost of your annual eye exam. Set up your appointment today, 314-966-5000. Again, 314-966-5000, or go to youridoc.com.
Now is a great time to start planning your next outdoor project with my friends at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Mark Cox here. You know, they're in their 56th year of business in the region. This is a locally owned and operated company since 1968. And Chesterfield Fence and Deck has such great options for you for your fence, for your decking. They've got regular wood, right? Natural cedar decks, and they've got Vecadec vinyl decking, and they got a brand new color available this year. It's pewter. It's a gorgeous gray color that has beautiful variation throughout it for more of a natural look. Of course, they do custom sunrooms and screen rooms and pergolas and patios. You name it, they can do it for you at Chesterfield Fence and Deck. If you need inspiration, call them up, go to their website, ChesterfieldFence.com, or visit their showroom in the Valley. Mention my name, Mark Cox, and get a special discount for 48 months interest-free financing for February or March. Go online to ChesterfieldFence.com.
What better way to support your nutrition than with the multivitamin that was created right here in St. Louis? Neovitin Original Multivitamin was created by St. Louis physician Dr. Ribicki to support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Now, Neovitin Original Multivitamin is formulated with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Ribicki's proprietary proprietary blend to give you nutritional support you won't find anywhere else. Neovitin is now conveniently available through our no-obligation monthly subscription. Cancel or pause at any time, and shipping is free. Support your nutrition with a subscription to Neovitin at neovitin.com today.
Do you have multiple years of unfiled taxes or owe more than $8,000? The attorneys at Allies Tax Relief are your ally and will stop the IRS from garnishing your wages or them levying your bank account. Call 800-230-5174.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Breaking news gives us a new topic to talk about, definitely on the other side. A Senate minority leader, he's ranking leader in the Senate because Republicans are not in leadership majority. Mitch McConnell will step down from his post in November. And we know that he is the longest-serving Senate leader in history who's maintained his power in the face of dramatic convulsions in the Republican Party for nearly 2 decades. They've had a lot of change. Well, let's not even ignore the stuff that's happened on the other side and is happening now.
So there you have the breaking news as it set in on Fox News on Outnumbered with Harris Faulkner. Mitch McConnell in November will step down as minority leader in the Senate. He is going to finish his term in the Senate, which ends at 2026. I believe he stated he doesn't intend to run again. He knows when it's time to he keeps saying, and people are highlighting where he said, it's a lost art to know when to leave. And so he's being praised for that. I feel like we're really close to the original announcement. And as somebody I have praised Mitch McConnell on honestly earning my vote for Donald Trump in 2016. In a roundabout way, Donald Trump holding that Supreme Court seat was the thing that made me go, yeah, I can vote for Donald Trump because I do not want to give that to Hillary Clinton. And Mitch McConnell took an immense amount of fire and heat for making that decision, and he withstood it. And I think Mitch McConnell was pivotal in bringing Donald Trump into the White House. Bring it forward to 2024, and Mitch McConnell is enormously controversial within the Republican Party, not just the Senate, but the Republican Party. I do not think that the idea that Ronna McDaniel has announced that she will step down next Tuesday, and Mitch McConnell is stepping down, announcing that he's going to be stepping down today, that those are unrelated things. Looking forward to what's going to happen in the rest of November, or in the rest of 2024 going into November, I don't think that the Republican Party can do what it has to do when it has all of these different factions that have rallying points, because we are a transformed entity that is now more defined by what we aren't than what we are. We have more in common with what we aren't. We are not socialists. We do not hate this country. We want to see Make America Great Again. We might differ on the details of how to do that best. We cannot help other people until we start helping and having responsibility for our own actions and helping ourselves. We as a party are more united by what we are not at this point in time than we are united by the details of what we are. Donald Trump wins last night in Michigan, not really a surprise.
And I just want to thank everybody. You've been incredible. And I'm so proud of the results because they're far greater than anticipated. So thank you all very much. And I'll be seeing you over the next period of 9 months and long beyond that. Thank you very much. And big congratulations.
Is there, Brad, do you know if there's this particular reason why he did that by phone and wasn't in Michigan?
I don't know of a particular reason why he did that.
I hope it's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to worry about South Carolina going red as much as you need to pray that Michigan goes red.
Yeah, you need Michigan to go red.
There could very well be a strong positive excuse. This is a moment in time where very often on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, I'll say something like that, and then I'll get 4 responses that are the same, like, oh, he was in court. And I'll go, oh, I hadn't realized that. But it seems strange to me that Michigan didn't get an in-person visit from Donald Trump. But maybe there's a reasonable excuse for it. When Ronna McDaniel announced that she would be stepping down the day after Super Tuesday, which is next Wednesday, when she made that announcement, you could go back and listen to the podcast for the Annie Fry Show. And what I said that the Republican Party needed to do is to rally around Trump. Love him, hate him, we are united by what we aren't. And if you look at what the alternative is, and right now the face of that alternative is Joe Biden. He just got done with I don't know that it was an impromptu doctor visit, but it wasn't an announced doctor visit. His annual exam was last year in the middle of February, so the idea that he'd have an annual exam on the books that maybe they didn't talk about because they probably didn't want to give it a lot of media breath. That happened today. We await to see what the results are there. And I was listening to Dr. Siegel this morning. He said he's more interested in what they choose not to talk about than all the statistics that they choose to talk about. We'll wait and see what happens. But everybody knows that Joe Biden has deteriorated, as do men of his age, in a natural state that he has. If you even look back at 2020 campaign videos and compare them to now, it's pretty stark. And in 2020, everybody was talking about how old he was and that he was in the basement and so on and so forth. In Michigan, last night I looked and it was in the mid-20s, the percent of uncommitted voters to Joe Biden in that primary. Who are those uncommitted voters? Michigan has a very large Gaza-supporting demographic of people. Rashida Tlaib, very active, of course, in that area, telling people vote uncommitted, send a message to this president that he's not done enough to earn your vote yet. I'm not of the party that thinks that those voters in Michigan won't show up to vote Democrat in November. But what I am certain of is that 25%, wherever it landed, of uncommitted voters who are trying to take the Democratic Party and yank it as far past the far left, like where that barrier is, they're trying to reestablish the barrier to be on the other side of it. It's a cultural influence. It's an economic influence. It's a socialistic, communistic influence. It is un-American. And it is having real, active influence on the Democrat Party that your parents used to know, that your grandparents used to know, maybe they used to support, maybe you used to support. It's not the same. It is not the same. As they rip everything, as they rip the spectrum as far left as they possibly can, where the center lies changes. The people who look at themselves, that not necessarily from the inside out, and say, you know, what is it that I really stand for? What is it that I really believe? Those people, for the most part, still believe the same kind of things. They have the same heart issues. They understand economics from their head, and they understand what they need to do to work hard to try to make a life and a living and a loving for their family. And those are people who are voting Democrat and voting Republican. But when you thrust the left side of this spectrum as far left as you possibly can, hurtling where the barrier sets right now for as far left as we can be, and you see how aggressive and active and successful the people on the far left of the Democratic Party are, you have to understand that center line shifts. And acknowledging where you are now on this spectrum Maybe now you look far right and you hear far right and it's kind of a pejorative and you think to yourself, I'm not one of those. Because in your mind, far right is what far right was 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. Or it's some lie that has been put out there about what the far right actually is, and you just don't really want to be associated with that kind of pejorative language. You still believe that the government should get their hand out of your pocket. You still believe that your Second Amendment rights, that whole cold dead hands thing, I'm right there with you. You still believe that you should be able to say what you think, say what you feel, and if it hurts somebody's feelings, that's too bad. If they say something and it hurts your feelings, you're going to have to get over it. You still believe in these inalienable rights and the idea of freedom and the idea that it's not ever been promised that it's going to be easy, but what you have been promised is opportunity. And you get that here, which is why people historically have flooded to our country. But you know the left has taken advantage of that. You know that the Democrats, who they're not even looking over their shoulder to see if the rest of the party is coming with them. They're running as far left as they possibly can. Joe Biden doesn't even know what day it is. They can get away with this right now. Where that center line lies is incredibly important in 2024. Because when people are noticing, I've been on this timeline, I've been on this spectrum, I used to consider myself liberal, I used to consider myself left of center. Now you're squarely on the right. And the only question that they're asking themselves is, am I going to allow myself to be associated with these new people who I'm around? There are new people considering voting against the party that they've known and supported because they know that that party doesn't support what they support any longer. There is a new party emerging within the GOP. Donald Trump, brick by brick, as if he were building a wall, started to lay the foundation where the old guard goes away, and there is a new opportunity in front of us as a Republican Party to decide what that's going to be. And I think that the moniker of America First is a very good way to approach that. But what that manifests itself into is going to be up to the people who step in to leadership positions, who step into roles of minority leader, and God willing, after November, when the new Senate gets sworn in, majority leader. And you are looking at a new Republican Party with the potential and the responsibility to have a majority in the House of Representatives, to have a majority in the Senate, and a potential where Donald Trump has come back into the Oval Office after everything that has been done to him. Laura Ingraham says, don't you ever just think about saying, enough, I quit. And she couldn't put the period or the question mark on the end of that sentence, and he says, I can't. Now, you can choose to believe him when he says that. I believe him. I'm not the biggest Trump supporter in the world, but I'm becoming that. Because watching what they're doing to him and watching how far the alternative is taking the left in this country, he's the guy. He is imperfect. He has never pretended not to be. He is the only Republican that I've been able to watch come into an office like this and not try to politically smooth all the edges of something that was rough and unsavory before it got to my stupid eyes and stupid brain cells so that I could consume it and still be okay with it. Because guess what? You know what your face looks like in the morning, ladies, before you put your makeup on and brush your hair. Men, you know what it looks like to roll out of bed. You know what it looks like when you're at your worst. You know what the truth is. And we all participate in the smoothing of the edges so that other people don't necessarily understand the whole truth. Donald Trump doesn't care. He is who he is, and he's willing to continue to take the arrows for the country for whatever godforsaken reason, because what they're doing to him and his family is unbelievable. He's willing to take the arrows because the country is at stake. You don't have to like him. You don't have to love him. But the alternative is untenable. That's the only question that we have in front of us right now. And if Donald Trump was able to go to the RNC and say, we need something different, we have to be together, this is what I said needed to happen. When Ronna McDaniel stepped down, I said, sink or swim, we are Donald Trump's party. You are in it or you're out of it. That's the only way that we win. That's what I'm telling you right now. You don't have to turn yourself over. You don't have to look at something in Donald Trump's life that, you know, you're like, you're being judgmental about or whatever, and you're looking at it. You don't have to assume some sort of appeasement for a behavior that you didn't like before. You don't have to like the way he talks. You don't have to talk the way he talks. You can criticize the way he talks. In fact, I encourage each and every one of you to approach people who are saying, I can't stand the way he talks. I just don't know why he has to do that. And you'd be like, I can't stand it either, but he's got my vote because the other person's going to destroy this country. Those are the connections that are going to need to be made. I don't think Mitch McConnell would have stepped down so easily if he didn't think there was a possibility that he was going to win, that Donald Trump was going to win, and that he was going to have to work with him as a majority leader, because I don't think those two can work together any longer. Whether they could come together would remain to be seen, but I don't believe that the people who are going to send people to the Senate, send Republicans to Senate, send the Republican to the Oval Office, I don't believe those people are McConnell's people any longer. You can look into history, you can appreciate, and you can respect what Mitch McConnell has done for this country in the past, but you can also look at the present and go, this is not your time any longer. We need something new. And on day one of Donald Trump's second term, we all need to be on the same page. This is evidence to me that the message is out and the message is clear. There's only one way we're going to win this election, and we can't afford cracks in the surface anywhere. We can't give anybody a wedge in to what the Republican Party needs to do to win. That's my takeaway. Could be completely off the mark, but we are seeing an alignment, and it is around Donald Trump because he's the guy who we have that can win. Nikki Haley can't win. Ron DeSantis couldn't win. Tim Scott couldn't win by himself. Chris Christie, please. But imagine this. In January 2025, Donald Trump swearing in with that look on his face, with the smile through his teeth, and America looking on going, what is about to happen next? A strong majority in the House of Representatives, a new Senate majority leader that is Republican, that is fresh with new ideas, and the potential of someone like Tim Scott, a black man from South Carolina, on the ticket for Donald Trump, in charge of the United States Senate. Everything has the potential to change in a way that is incredibly impactful if we can swallow our pride and just decide, you know what, we have to win. We have to win because we can't afford to lose the Biden way any longer. We cannot afford to lose the Democrat way anymore. We cannot afford to lose in an aggressively socialist way anymore. We can't afford to lose. How do we win? Let's go. That's what this has to be about. I'm no sycophant. I'm no fangirl. I am a realist, and that's the reality of the matter. Mitch McConnell announcing today that he is stepping down from his leadership position as of November, staying on as a senator, not giving up the seat, which would be appointed by the governor of Kentucky, who's a Democrat, Andy Beshear. Supposed to be approved by the legislature, but Beshear had said, I don't think I'm going to follow that rule. Let's lighten it up a little bit. Sarah Gabel Seifert is going to join us when we come back. She's the president and co-founder of Every Life. I'm looking for solution finders. Sarah is one, and I cannot wait to tell you how when we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
It's a hard place in a hard town. Sometimes I pretend that I can hear his words at all, but they echo in my sleep, and it doesn't help me keep.
Can I tell you about the Diamond Shop in Clayton? St. Louisans since 1910. This is a St. Louis institution for your jewelry purchase. But even more than that, it's a family experience. Walking into a jewelry shop, many of you have purchased jewelry before. You know what it's like to go in and be the next person in line, get taken care of, and get moving. But it's much better when you can have a relationship with the people who you're making this very special purchase for, especially when it comes to custom jewelry. Let's talk about how the Diamond Shop can take something very special to you. For instance, I have a ring that has a set of diamonds on top of it, and it fits my finger. It fits my left ring finger, which I have a ring on, but my right finger, I jammed when I played softball. I can't get it on there. So I took it into the Diamond Shop, and I was showing it to him, and they gave me some options of what I could do with that ring so that I could wear it. And they also said to me, we can do this, we can do that, we can do that, but they said, the ring is incredibly beautiful, and I think that their ultimate guidance to me was it would lose a lot of value if I were to reset it. And so they told me the truth. And that was really important to me because it is a very, very important heirloom to me and to my family. And so I might pass it down, and then I ended up getting something else for myself. The Diamond Shop is there to guide you through the process, make you feel comfortable, respect you as a client because they want you to come back again and again, as so many people do. Find them online at thediamondshop.net.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house, and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years. Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO. Easy to remember phone number. Or go online today at 877-25-RHINO.com.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategy that has helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 38 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Triple the heat and save on a new furnace. Save 10% on a single-stage furnace, 15% off a 2-stage furnace, or 20% off a multi-stage furnace. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
SLU men's basketball is back on 97.1 this weekend. It's an Atlantic 10 conference matchup. SLU men's basketball. Tune in Saturday for SLU versus Rhode Island on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
The United States has a population of north of 327 million people. Why do we need more kids? I mean, your party, Senator Tuberville, is the one screaming that 10 million immigrants, which I don't even know that that number even makes any sense because it doesn't, have streamed into the country since Joe Biden has been president, and you're claiming that that's too many people, that if more people come into the southern border, this is some sort of crisis because we've got too many people and we've got no more space and we can't afford more people. But now you're saying we need more kids? Can you explain? Who's the we and what's the purpose?
Yeah, Joy Reid, I'd like an explanation. A quick Google search says you've got 3 kids. So I guess you're good? You're done? There's an entity out there that right now has a slogan, and it's just pretty simple. Make more babies. And we are excited to welcome onto the show Sarah Gabel Seifert. She's the president and co-founder of Every Life. And I want all of you, you're on your lunch break, you're not doing anything, or at least pretend you're not doing anything. Go to everylife.com and follow along as we talk to Sarah here. Sarah, thank you for coming on the show with us. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Now, I'm a mom of 4 kids, and I know a lot about diapers. My last one is 2, and by the time she turns 3, we're going to try to be done with diapers. But boy, do I wish I knew about everylife.com and your mission, Sarah, what you've put together. I want to give you the floor right now to talk about the problem that you saw, and Joy Reid is articulating it, this lack of value for life that we seem to have culturally. But you saw a problem, you came up with a solution. Sarah, talk to us about it.
Yeah, so again, thanks for having me. Every Life is the first and only pro-life diaper company on the market. It was unbelievable to discover that every major diaper company that's out there today, Hello Bello, Honest, Huggies, Coterie, Pampers, the list goes on, is supporting abortion either financially or vocally, some of them both. And as a brand new parent, I said, this has to stop. This is absolutely insane. We need a solution for parents that are passionate about shopping their pro-life values. So we launched Every Life in July, and now we are the fastest growing diaper company America has ever seen. We lead with our pro-life values. We are unapologetically pro-life. We say that all over our website, all over our social media channels, but we also give back. So we put action behind our pro-life values. We help moms in need. We help pregnancy centers by donating diapers. So we are all about the pro-life movement and being a part of that. But what's fantastic is that we didn't compromise in our quality. We lead with our values. We did not compromise with our high-performing premium diaper. It really is the best of the best diaper I've ever put on my child. It works, 12-hour leak protection. Mom and baby are going to sleep better. Ingredients are clean. So we're excited to be available for parents, and it's working. People are responding, and we're thankful to be a solution because we need alternatives today. There has to be a solution. We can't just complain about these issues. We must respond.
Sarah, I want to come give you a hug for what you were doing here because in a corporate world, in a capitalistic world, people look for products, they buy their products, and you do want to know where that product is coming from. You do want to know where the money is going if you're investing in it. But it's also important for people to stand in the space and support positive solutions like yours, Sarah. And we're very grateful to be able to do that here on the Annie Fry Show. I'm looking at the website right now and these adorable babies wearing these Every Life diapers. So if I were to say, because I think right now my family, we've just always used Loves, which is a Pampers product. It's basically a Pamper diaper for a little bit less. if I switch to Every Life diapers, where's my money going after I decide, okay, I'm not going to spend it here, I'm going to spend it there?
Yeah, great question. And I think we all need to be asking that question. That's a really good question that parents need to be evaluating. Where is my money going? And at Every Life, you can know with a blessed assurance that every purchase that you make is helping us be able to serve pregnancy resource centers in urgent need of diapers and wipes so they can help moms, so they can help dads that have chosen life for their babies. These pregnancy resource centers are on the forefront of saving lives. So we're really honored to come alongside them and donate diapers and wipes. So if you come along with us on this mission, we like to say at Every Life that we're not only changing diapers, we actually are changing lives. So it's an incredible organization. All of the moms and our staff, we lead with our pro-life values. We live them out. And we're a faith-based company as well. We are all about our faith, and we are a Christian-based company too. So it just feels good knowing when you can support a company that aligns with your core convictions. So we hope that every mom and dad out there that's listening to your show will head to everylife.com. What I love too about our website is that you can actually have our diapers sent directly to your doorstep. So you don't have to worry about those late night diaper runs. As a busy mom, it's going to show up every single month. You can edit, stop, change, cancel your order at any moment with our auto renew subscription option. So we hope that people will join us on this really extraordinary mission because it is so much more to us than a premium product. We really are about changing lives at Every Life.
We're speaking with Sarah Gabel Seifert. She's the president and co-founder of Every Life. That's the website, everylife.com. When we get done here, Sarah, I'm making a commitment to you. I'm going to buy, my daughter's between 4s and 5s, so I got to figure out, probably going to go 5s with my daughter. I'm going to buy a case, and I'm going to donate a case. Because I'm looking here right now, and at the top it says buy for a cause. So I'm going to get a box of diapers for Molly, and then I'm going to donate a box of diapers because you can do an auto renew or a one-time purchase. Just reading from the website, so this is the information available for everyone. Each bundle purchase will be shipped to the organization facing the most urgent need as they aid families in crisis. What an easy way for people right now. Go to everylife.com and to help real people. I think it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And that's right. Everybody can get involved with our mission through our Buy for a Cause program, even if you don't have a baby in diapers. And to your point earlier too, Annie, we are doing a campaign right now called Make More Babies, because it is time for us to celebrate parenthood and to see more businesses standing for life and protecting life at the moment of conception, and with birth rates down lower than we've ever seen, and this message that is being projected that children are a burden and an inconvenience and that they're a threat to our society. We're saying the opposite. Children are an absolute gift and blessing from God, and they're not an inconvenience, they're a joy. So we hope that all of you will get on board with this movement, because it's so important that we begin to stand for life, God's most precious children.
Sarah, you know, I'm gonna get my soapbox out here so I can stand on it, and I'm very pro-life. It's the one issue that I will talk about. You know, I'm talking about politics. I'm talking about news. I'm talking about the news cycle every day, and there's kind of a methodical march that goes through that. When it comes to the pro-life part, my heart sometimes takes over, and I never know how that's going to go. I feel like I'm much more in command of my words when my head is speaking. When my heart starts speaking, I just hope that my words are guided spiritually even. But there is a meeting in the middle where people need to understand, in a post-Roe v. Wade world, the responsibility of you, the listener, in your role in this time. Because I am not in support of waiting for the right man or the right woman to get elected to some sort of elected position to solve the world's problems. Because if they get replaced by the wrong one, we could be back where we were to begin with. The idea of small government conservatism is the idea that we see the needs, we see the problems, the same ones that come from that government solutions are created out of, but we fix the problem before we wait for a government official or program or taxpayer funded solution that doesn't solve the problem to come around. And helping these women choose life is the number one way we can do it. And everylife.com is the simplest way that you can provide for a mom an expectant mother who is scared and likely alone in that situation, fear a little bit less because they just got a box of diapers, and a box of quality diapers where quality isn't sacrificed at all.
That's right. And you're spot on. One of the main reasons that a mother is considering abortion is because she feels a lack of support. And she's also feeling like she cannot financially cover the cost of a child. So if you can help us send just one box of diapers to a mom in dire need of them, it can actually be the difference between life and death for a mom that's in the middle of that crisis pregnancy. So we are honored to be on the forefront of actually saving lives through the work that we're doing at Every Life. And everybody can participate in this because every mom and every dad needs diapers. It's an essential. You can't have a baby without having diapers and wipes. So this is a very practical way for all of us to chime in, to help, to make a difference, and to let these moms and dads know that they're not alone, that there's a group of people that are coming behind them, praying for them, and are there to support them.
Yeah. Sarah, I'm going to probably start emailing you because I have so many thoughts and so many ideas. I see wipes on your website as well. And I also see merch. You can get a sweatshirt that says "Make More Babies," and I am thinking I'm going to buy that sweatshirt too. I think that's a great sweatshirt, and it gets people talking and asking questions. Great marketing.
That's
there.
right.
Sarah,
thanks for doing your part too. Yeah. And congratulations on your kids, and definitely size up to a size 5. You'll be happy with that for your kids.
I will do that. Sarah, Gabel, Seifert, I would love to be in touch with you and see how we can help you more in this mission. And we're really grateful you came on this afternoon. It's a really positive light in the middle of a news cycle. So we're really grateful you were here today.
Of course. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Yep, you as well. Sarah, Gabel, Seifert. The website is everylife.com. And if you've been looking for a place to give, and I know that money is tight, like imagine this. Inflation is high. Your money doesn't go as far as it did anymore. And now you're a single expectant mother who doesn't know if you can make it. If you can go to everylife.com and you can send one box of diapers a month or do the subscription, whatever that is, once a month, you are helping real people, tiny people, exist. That's pretty amazing. Everylife.com. Great to speak with Sarah today. She's the president and co-founder of Every Life. We're going to take a quick break. Ryan Wiggins back in studio in just a minute. How to keep your memory if you can remember to do these things. Who's this for? Is this like news cycle related, or is this just coincidentally?
I would say it's news cycle related.
You're like,
it's the mind of Wiggins.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is going to be a report on the president's physical when we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Well, I talk about saving money, and we talk about the cost of everything being high. Ruler Foods comes in and saves the day or the week or the grocery bill. Ruler Foods is Kroger brands. You go to Ruler Foods, you get Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices, and they are quality. When you are shopping at Ruler Foods, the name brands that you're traditionally buying, the chips, the sodas, the packages, the cereals, all of it. It's there. You're going to go to Ruler Foods, and you're going to be able to buy the brands that you traditionally buy. But they also offer Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices. And they offer everything at discounted prices. The shopping experience is kind of fun. My kids love it. It is like a stick a quarter in the cart kind of a place and bring your bags, or we take boxes off the shelves and pile them in there and then recycle the boxes when we get home. Mostly because we're not together enough to remember to bring our bags. That's a different story. But you go through the store and it's clean and it's organized. The people who work at Ruler Foods are incredibly friendly. And then when you get to the checkout and you realize how much you put in your cart for how much you're going to have to pay for it, you go, now I understand what Annie's been talking about. 1 pound strawberries or 6 ounce raspberries, 2 for $5 right now. Kroger 80% lean ground beef sold in 3 pound rolls, $3.66 a pound. And don't forget those baby back ribs or pork steaks, $2.99 a pound. Find more savings at rulerfoods.com.
Mortgage rates have finally dropped. That's right. Golden Oak has 5.375% fixed rates available right now. Our average cash-out customer saves over $1,000 a month. Call today and take advantage of our 5.375 fixed rate. Call 314-567-GOLD. That's 314-567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
5.934 APR. FHA 15-year, 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
STL Today is named Under Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. We'll continue to make a difference, one case at a time.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
Have you ever been sitting around or driving like you're probably doing right now? Man, I think I need a new furnace or an air conditioner. Have you? I mean, I think about you thinking about it all the time. Regardless of what's going on right now with the economy and with these mandates and the prices going absolutely crazy, I would have to say, without a question, the best time to buy is actually right now. No gimmicks, no tricks. 5 years, no interest on a furnace and air conditioner. Get your prices, get your quotes, get your monthly payments, and then call me and buy now to where you can make your choice and you can still get the so-called inefficient models. Call me, Bart Inman, one easy number, Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. Again, the easiest number, Missouri and Illinois, and your only number, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com. Now that is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com.
When I was in my 20s, I could just wake up, take a shower, and slap deodorant on my armpits. But since having kids, odor on other parts of my body made me feel like I needed a second shower, which for a mom like me ain't gonna happen. And then my gynecologist told me about Lumi. It's a whole body deodorant for pits, feet, and privates that controls odor anywhere and everywhere on your body. I tried it and noticed a difference right away, everywhere. Lumi was developed by an OBGYN. It's clinically proven to control odor for 72 hours. Lumi has over 300,000 5-star reviews, and a 60-day money-back guarantee means you can try Lumi risk-free. Since Lumi, I never have to worry about body odor ever again, anywhere on my body, and that reassurance is worth every penny.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 222 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack, and ships free with code 222. LUMEdeodorant.com, code 222, and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. That's LUMEdeodorant.com, code 222.
The subject of the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll of the day is who will win the 2024 election for, you guessed it, President of the United States. Is it Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or someone else? Let us know what you think, not necessarily what your choice is, but who do you think will win? That's the subject of the poll today. It's 12:48. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Information with perspective on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk. Everyone is welcome.
Sing my share of broken halos, folded wings that used to fly. They've all gone wherever they go. Broken halos that used to shine. Angels come down from the heavens just to help us on our way. Come to teach us, then they leave us, and they find some other soul to save.
Wiggins!
Oh, Wiggins!
As much as I wanted this to be about news, the way that I came into this story was that over 40 years old, and I'm suddenly getting mail for AARP, and
suddenly
I mean, come on, and I'm getting ads in my algorithm for. Wow, are you starting to experience cognitive decline?
Well,
and I'm like, are you kidding me?
I've been like this my whole life.
Yeah, there's nothing new here. So I thought, man, if I'm barely over 40, and I mean barely, I am so young, it would shock you.
That's like when people say they're 39. I am. I am 39.
Sure.
Yeah, I tell the people if the age comes up, I'm like 39. They're always like,
oh yeah, on the radio. What are you
and
really?
nobody says they're 39 when they're 35. How old do I look? Ugh, don't answer that question. I forgot.
There are times that there are a lot of things that I want to say. That was one of them.
Go
it was
ahead.
like they all got lodged in the bottleneck, and I couldn't get anything out.
Because you don't know what you wanted to say?
No. There were lots of funny jokes about you
that's-
being old and looking old and not wanting to admit it and stuff. And I'm like, that's all inappropriate.
Go on, say it.
No, I can't now. The moment's passed, and you know how I am with moments. I mean, I hit them. And then if a joke comes late, I do not say it. This subject is bothering me, though, because it made me think, man, if I'm barely over 40, obviously there's going to be a lot of people listening who are well older than us, and they're probably getting this constantly. There's like a whole industry telling people you should be worried about this. So I saw the article, and I'm like, well, here's a good way to determine whether you're doing the right things or wrong things. It is 4 things that this psychologist says will destroy your memory more as you age. So I want to see if you guys are doing these things, whether you're deliberately doing them or whether you're avoiding them. Number 1, multitasking too much.
I'm buying diapers right now.
You are. You're not even paying attention.
No, I am too. I answered your question.
Oh my gosh, you're right. You're multitasking, but that's a little too much, Annie.
I'm doing what?
You're multitasking.
Multitasking.
I am 100% multitasking. I'm buying diapers and listening to your brilliance. See, I was paying attention.
Your memory's going away a little bit because your memory.
Oh, no.
your
Guys, we got 6 minutes left. You got to get it together.
Is that an age comment? 'Cause they're just fine. That's my husband.
I'm not asking your husband that. That's inappropriate, Annie.
Hey, how are Annie's memories?
Hey, Jared.
I'll send him a text right now.
Hey, Jared, it came up in conversation
Ryan
today.
wants to know.
How's your... Never mind.
I don't think you're okay.
Man, I'm
I'm not okay.
Multitasking too much is going to hurt your memory.
I
they
just
say.
need you to individually task right now.
Oh, man.
Regular task.
You're struggling with the words.
Dude, the
which
chat is blowing up.
Your job. Words.
We rely on an area of the brain called the prefrontal cortex. Now you're going to be like, dang, he turned the corner. He sounds super smart now. To pay attention to the world around us. Unfortunately, prefrontal function and our ability to focus often declines over time. Multitasking makes it worse. It impairs memory and taxes the function of the prefrontal cortex.
What are you talking about?
Sapping the resources
You're just
that
filling
would
time.
normally help us form strong memories. I'm just trying to look out for you guys. Number 2,
I'm going
not
back to ordering diapers.
not prioritizing quality sleep.
Diapers?
I do.
You
yeah,
do?
we know you do, Leah.
Yeah.
How many hours of sleep do you get a night, Leah?
Yeah,
what do you
the
require?
sketch?
Yeah.
Between 6.5 to 8 depends on when I go to bed.
I really appreciate that.
But I take a CBD and it knocks me out.
Oh,
Here
really?
we go.
See, you're taking
All right.
something, though.
This is that's different.
It is, Brad.
What, do I prioritize it?
No, what do you take at night?
What's your medication
I
of choice,
usually just
Brad?
grab a hammer and just one
Wham!
good whack and then I'm out.
How many hours do you get a night?
Probably about 6 to 7.
Okay.
But I don't prioritize it. It's just like once I'm done, and I lay down and I'm out.
Like a man.
Yeah, exactly like
Didn't
a man.
used to be that way.
It's when you were a boy.
Yeah, yeah, you've become a man, Brad. I actually sleep less the older I get. I'm noticing that I sleep about 7.5 is where I feel the best. It used to be more than that.
You afraid you won't get back up again?
No, I'm fine. And my brain's working great. Memories are working. Number 3, monotonous activities. We remember events by tying together information about what happened, when it happened, and where it happened. This is called episodic memory, a cue that's uniquely linked to a specific place and time, like a song you haven't heard since high school, or the smell of a dish that your grandmother used to cook. But that only works if you have experiences that are associated with relatively distinct context, not so much with monotonous experiences. I would speak for everybody in the room and say, we have a job that is never monotonous.
That's true.
Every day it's something different. What is wrong? What? Something is bothering you.
No, I'm just listening to your show. It's great. It's a great show.
Thank you very much. Leah,
Yeah.
take over.
Leah, This is about old age and memory. What is she going to know about it? She remembers everything, and she's youthful.
And she does a great job taking care of herself.
Takes care of herself.
I'm getting texts right now, man. I don't even know what's going on.
It's probably from Jared. Giving you the down low. No pun intended.
Jared? No, I didn't ask that. Let me text him back real quick. We got a couple of minutes, right? Number 4, last one, by the way. Being overconfident in your ability to remember things.
Oh, that last part.
Here's a real question. Would you say that you have a good memory?
I have an excellent memory for some things and the worst for others. My brain, without consulting me, determines what's important. Names should be the top of the list of something that's important. I can't remember names.
Yeah.
I have to create ways to remember important names. But as you've seen on the show, I can be like, oh, it was June of 2022.
You'll know exactly how many days until Election Day.
It was 72 degrees. Yeah, it was a nice afternoon.
I got to tell you, if somebody calls me my guy, I already know. I know you don't know my name. Don't worry about it.
Or if somebody calls you that, I would be like, I am not your guy. I'm not that person. 251 days to election. Let's talk to Deroy Murdock when we come back.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or biglou.com.
Hi, Little Bob here. We're turning President's Day into President's Days, spotlighting new choices every day in February at Bob's Discount Furniture. You can choose from 12 $9.99 sofa love seat combos, $5.99 dining sets with tons of options, and 9 complete queen bedroom sets for only $9.99. Flexible financing options available. Subject to credit approval, ask for details. When you get a different choice every day in February, there's only one thing to say. Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
McKelvey Homes is offering up to $100,000 savings on their designer market homes and special McKelvey financing of 5.99% 30-year fixed or 4.875% in first year with our 2-1 buydown. At Inverness at Bryan and Feisey, we have our luxurious LaSalle display home for sale. This professionally decorated ranch is loaded with all the most popular features. Hurry, these deals won't last long. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today for a complete listing.
Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group wants to make sure that your retirement is an exhale, a relaxation event for you, that moving into it doesn't get you worried and stressed, and that you're not looking forward, unsure of what's going to happen next, and afraid that you are going to lose what you've saved. When you shift into working with the Retirement Advisory Group, you're going to partner with Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, and Tammy Kershaw, and you're going to be put into a position where they help you make those choices to guide you along making the shift from accumulating assets and wealth to living off of it, so that you can understand what that retirement is going to look like for yourself, so that you can have a personalized, structured income plan. Thomas Helbig, all they need is you to make the phone call to set up an appointment. It costs you nothing, and you don't have to do anything. If you listen to it and you're like, I don't know if that's what I really want to do right now, no obligation. 314-993-9494. Call 314-993-9494. You can visit them online and make an appointment and learn more at retirementkey.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Senate Republicans will have a new leader. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Minority Leader Mitch McConnell announcing he'll step down from the leadership post in November.
Father Time remains
undefeated.
The Kentucky senator who turned 82 last week says it's time for the next generation of leadership.
So this was a shock in some respects, but not a shock in other ways. The reason being is that Mitch McConnell, he is the longest serving party leader, either as the majority leader, the minority leader, in all time for the Senate. No one has served in leadership as long as he has. You think about stalwarts like Robert Byrd and Bob Dole and others. Mitch McConnell, he outlasted all of them. And I thought it was very telling in his speech where he quoted the book of Ecclesiastes. And he said, you know, there is always a time, always a season for everything. He said, it's time for me to move on.
Fox's Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. Two sides of the same deposition as Hunter Biden testifies under oath in an impeachment probe.
And his testimony, some of it is in direct conflict with other witnesses.
Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace says the president's son has been defiant and dishonest. Part of the questions focusing on meetings where his father joined in by speakerphone.
People do that. People say, hey, Dad, will you say hello to my friends? Mom, will you say hello to, my colleagues are here.
Oversight Committee ranking Democrat Jamie Raskin says both the president and his son were private citizens at the time.
It was a matter of some amusement that there was all kind of paranoid suspicion cast upon this practice of putting your mom or your dad on a speakerphone.
Hunter Biden in a prepared statement accusing Republicans of hunting him for political gain. Results expected later today from President Biden's annual physical. He did that earlier today before heading to an event on fighting crime. America is listening to Fox News.
You can live out your MasterChef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Lots of sunshine out there, but it stays windy and cold. The good news, the winds will be slowly diminishing, but 39, that's it for the high. Quite a change from yesterday when we hit 84. Tonight, clear, cold, light winds down to 22. On Thursday, sunny skies, cold start, chilly day, 48 degrees. Friday, sunny skies in the afternoon after some morning clouds, and 58. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's what's happening.
Donald Trump will be the Republicans' candidate.
Right now.
Joe Biden is the one Democrat
keeping you informed.
Who will beat him.
And up to date.
I'm not dropping out of the race.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right, nice, soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
Experience the beauty of custom-crafted windows that enhance your home's aesthetics and energy efficiency. Look no further than Infinity from Marvin. Proudly brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. Why choose Infinity? These windows are not just strong. They're 8 8 times stronger than vinyl, providing unmatched security for your home. Plus, with Lakeside's expert installation, you're guaranteed precision and perfection. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today. Elevate your home with Infinity from Marvin, where strength meets style.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Zero Res wants to give your home the love and attention it deserves for the month of love. Get 3 rooms cleaned starting at $119, plus they're throwing in a free hallway and take $50 off your air duct cleaning. Call 314-474-2020 and say you heard it here on 97.1 FM Talk.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We're grateful that you're here with us. It's chilly. It's up to 35 degrees now. This weather in the last 24 hours has been bonkers. But hopefully you are enjoying the afternoon, maybe wrapping it up from lunch. We're glad that you're here, spending some time with us. We just got done speaking in the 1 o'clock hour with Sarah Gabel Seifert, and her business is called Every Life. Brad, when you were listening to Sarah talk about, I mean, it's a really, really smart move to take an industry that relies on babies' bottoms and invest in the existence of those bottoms.
Yeah, whenever she said that, and I had found this whenever I was doing a little research on her and stuff like that, she said that she found that major diaper companies were donating to pro-abortion causes. And I'm thinking to myself, how does that help major diaper companies? I don't understand why, if your goal as a business is to basically diaper the bottoms of babies, your main clientele is parents of children, why would you be donating to causes that make less children? That doesn't make any sense to me. And then I saw that they introduced that new campaign, the Make More Babies campaign. They're like up on Times Square and stuff like that. And I was like, this is brilliant. That gives you a great opportunity to go, those people don't want you to have kids, but we do, and we've got as good a product as they do, so buy ours. We like your kids.
Yeah. I'm grateful every time I see these individuals say, there's a need here, and I'm going to meet that need. Because that's not how this usually goes. We spend a lot of time complaining and whining and moaning and saying, we need the Republicans to end up winning here. And then we wait, and then maybe they do. But you're not going to solve the problem if the Republicans, they're going to fight about it in Washington, D.C. You're going to get what you want, but it's going to come with a huge bucket of stuff you don't want.
Yeah. This brings up a quote, and it's, be the change you want to see in the world. And I remember that quote because that was in the trivia night.
Was it Gandhi?
It was Gandhi, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the person who said it because
but
it's
it's
the trivia night.
so super intelligent and so true. Like, you can't change the world and want the world to change and then sit back and just wait for everybody else to do anything. That's no good. That's not helpful. And you essentially are part of the problem. What they've done over there at Every Life is they said, hey, here's a problem. Let us go and solve this problem. Let us be part of the solution. Maybe you don't like our ideas, but at least, hey, we're coming up with something. And they have great ideas. And I also liked that you can donate diapers to mothers who are expecting, that are in crisis pregnancies. That, to me, is the number one thing that conservatives can do, is to stand alongside these mothers who are in crisis pregnancies, these parents who are in crisis pregnancies. They didn't expect this. They don't believe that they're ready for this. They don't know how they're going to do it. For you to come alongside them and say, hey, don't worry, we got you. This is going to be all right. Everything's going to be great. We will take care of you. That, to me, is about the most effective pro-life message that you can give.
Yeah, I was happy to do it. I went on and I did buy a box of diapers for Molly, and then I added in one for where they say they should send it to wherever the greatest need is. So it's not like you're specifying, I want it to go to this shelter. But the truth is that you can yourself take up, if you've got a real heart for this issue, you can take up the mantle and say, maybe you throw a diaper party for one of your local shelters that is actually helping these women choose life. We have to stop looking at government as the solution to our problems, because we're conservatives and we're pro-life. And if you wait on government to solve the problem, they will break 10 things in the process of trying to fix one. And the fix that they implement will be not even half as good as what you could do yourself. The website is everylife.com, and if you want to hear the interview there with Sarah Gabel Seifert, who created this brand of diapers where when you purchase it, it supports pro-life as opposed to the rest of the diaper companies, which I did not know that they were all donating there to abortion causes. That just is, this doesn't make a bunch of sense. All right, I want to shift gears here, and I want to get to our next guest on the air here. Deroy Murdock is joining us. He's a nationally syndicated columnist, a member of Project 21, and a Fox News contributor. Deroy, welcome back. It's good to have you here.
Oh, Granny, great to talk to you.
You know, there's big news today. I don't know if you want to comment on Mitch McConnell announcing that he's stepping down from leadership as of November. My theory on our news last week that Ronna McDaniel was stepping down, and that the news today that Mitch McConnell is stepping down as of November, in my mind, maybe it's willful. I feel like there's this understanding that if Donald Trump is going to win in November, and that he very well could if it shapes up the way the polls are saying right now, we have to be a unified front, because what the Democrats have been willing to do to Donald Trump, especially in this election season, it looks like there's no line they won't cross.
I think it's true, and I welcome the news that Mitch McConnell is going to be stepping down as GOP leader. I wish he'd do it today rather than November. I mean, maybe give him until Friday, maybe wrap it up through Friday, have a new leader next Monday. Look, McConnell gets a lot of credit for something he's done very well, which is to shepherd through a huge number of people under Donald J. Trump, and I guess under Bush as well, on the federal court system, from the Supreme Court all the way down to district courts, and that's great. So, you know, huge kudos for that. Apart from that, though, I think he's been a disaster as GOP leader. And one really dramatic example I'll give you is, you may recall 2 Christmases ago, he and Chuck Schumer put together this roughly 5,000-page omnibus, massive spending deal. And essentially what it did is spend money all the way through October 1 of last year. Had he waited just 11 days and said, look, we'll do a continuing resolution, we'll roll the spending forward through like January of 2023, what would happen is that Kevin McCarthy and the GOP House would have had the opportunity to write their own budget, to put all sorts of policy regarding the border, regarding crime, regarding all sorts of other things into that spending bill, and actually reduce spending and do what the American people did when they gave the GOP the House back to the Republican Party. Instead, what Schumer and McConnell did was basically tie together the hands of the Republicans and deny the new GOP House the power of the purse from January all the way through October for 10 months. Yeah. This is complete perfidy. I mean, this is treacherous. This is sabotage, frankly. And this is the kind of thing Mitch McConnell did over and over and over again. And I think he saw himself as sort of there to, make life easy for the Democrat leader rather than, be the loyal opposition and provide an alternative to the spending and intervention and everything else on the part of the Democrats. So I'm thrilled to see him go. I just wish he'd leave, like I say, give him until Friday and have a new leader starting Monday. I'm a reasonable man about this kind of thing.
I appreciate that. Deroy Murdock with us right now. The stakes are high, and I started the show today by basically saying that the Republican Party is more united by what we aren't at this point than by what we are, because the Democrats, you got to be able to look at the left and see what the influential side of the Democrat Party is and what they're willing to do both politically, like watching Rashida Tlaib in Michigan try to push that wing of the Democrat Party to make it a bigger part of the Democratic Party. We've got to be able to relate to one another in the common sense to conservative side and say, this is what we aren't. Because when I look at people like Letitia James, every time she tweets, I want to break the device that I'm reading the tweet on, where she lists out the amount of money, and it's going to cost me money in the end. It's outrageous to look at the arrogance and the elitist nature that Fani Willis, Judge Engoron, you've got an article about this, and I want to give you a chance to talk about it. But we have to have a very clear A and B choice, and we can't be waffling about it at all.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And look, the stakes couldn't be any higher now. It used to be we had a Democrat Party that just wanted to raise taxes some and take the money and help out the poor. And we're so far beyond that. These people, again, have ripped the border wide open. Crime is rampant. This monster who killed this poor young lady, Laken Riley, down in Augusta, Georgia, he was led through the border by Joe Biden. He was caught here in New York. They let him go and set him free. And what does he end up doing? He ends up going down to Georgia and killing this 22-year-old nursing student while she was out for a jog. Totally innocent. She didn't deserve that. And this is the result of the kind of policies we see out of the modern Democrat Party, which is an out-of-control, culturally Marxist party. And a big part of that, as I explained in this article in the Daily Signal, is they're not just willing to run against Donald J. Trump and say, look, here are his views, here's our agenda, here's why our ideas are better than his ideas. If they want to do that, terrific. But the effort now is what they call lawfare, which is to defeat Trump by taking him to court and filing specious charges against him, tie him up in courtrooms, chew up his finances with legal costs, and then get this, I think, very shady and dodgy decision against him. $355 million he's supposed to hand over. And Letitia James's attitude is, well, if we don't have the money by the end of the month, we're just going to start seizing your office building. She said, I look at 40 Wall Street every day, which is one of the Trump buildings down in the financial district, and she's just coveting that thing. And her deal is basically just get Trump at all costs, no matter what, and the justice system be damned. And that's not the way this country is supposed to operate.
We're speaking with Deroy Murdock. He's a nationally syndicated columnist. This latest piece in the Daily Signal, we'll encourage you to check out his work there. Also a Fox News contributor. I wonder what your thoughts and advice are for people who have previously been repulsed is too strong of a word. If you're repulsed by Donald Trump, I don't know if we're going to get you over to the check in the R box in November side. But there are a lot of people who are identifying what the Democratic Party is willing to do today, especially through this lawfare, and they're like, this isn't fair. What do we do as principled, policy-based conservatives to attract those people who know that what we're doing right now is un-American and it is unfair? How do we get those people to pay attention to our message?
That's a very good question. I tell you what makes it tough is having so many different cases against Trump competing at the same time. I guess you got, 4 criminal cases, several civil cases, and even those of us who do this for a living find it, very hard to track one cases versus the other, which judges assigned to which case, which prosecutors are one, and back and forth, back and forth. So, just trying to help people shepherd them through this, confusion would be helpful. But, I'd stress the point that this is so much of this stuff is so clearly being done as partisan politics masquerading as the justice system. This, for example, in this case in New York, this law that's being used against Trump in the civil fraud case, the Associated Press did a survey, a study. They looked at, I think, 150 or so instances in which this law from 1956 was used. They couldn't find one other instance in which a major company was being persecuted without actually defrauding people, taking their money, giving them low-quality products or no products at all. Usually, this law has been thrown against people who are engaged in kinds of scams and con artistry and that sort of thing. There's never, apparently, according to the Associated Press, which is not exactly a right-wing source, no other case until this Trump case where a major company has been treated like this, and one in which you've got Trump's bank saying, look, we got paid off. He paid with interest. He didn't default. He paid in some cases ahead of schedule. So, where's the fraud? Where's the ripoff? It hasn't happened, and yet they're still taking this law, twisting it, distorting it to persecute him, and again get Trump, not seek any kind of justice in any particular case against any actual criminality. Just get Trump for get Trump's sake, which is what you've seen. Now, if you're a campaign volunteer and you want to get Trump, great. But if you're a judge, and certainly if you're a prosecutor, you ought to be trying to do something called obey the law, and that's really doesn't seem to be what's on offer right now.
Do you think Donald Trump has what it takes to move from now through November without inflaming some of those people who might be considering the alternative to the left and the Democrat voting blue? Do you think he has what it takes to bring people in?
I think he does, as long as he can stay calm. I think Trump has a little bit of an impulse problem, as I think even his biggest fans and supporters would say. So I think if he can learn to count to 10, to take 3 deep breaths before he says certain things, that would serve him very well. I think when he ran in 2016, he definitely had this problem, but Kellyanne Conway came in along with Dave Bossie and Steve Bannon. Those three came in right after the campaign, and all of a sudden he seemed to calm down. He put the Twitter machine down. He gave very serious policy speeches, and a lot of people who might have thought this guy's out of control thought, this guy's really serious, and he's talking about major policy changes and giving talks to think tanks and this kind of stuff. And I think people took him a lot more seriously when that happened. So I think if we can bring in a Trump whisperer, if you will, to keep him totally focused and keep his eyes on the prize, that would bode well for his prospects in November.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I encourage people to read your piece about the crazy lawfare taking place against Donald Trump in the Daily Signal. And we always appreciate you, Deroy, for coming on with us. Good to have you back.
All right, Annie. Great to talk to you. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Deroy Murdock, nationally syndicated columnist, as I said, in the Daily Signal this week, a member of Project 21 and Fox News contributor. Let's take a quick break. Joe Biden was just giving a speech. They're talking about, what was it, like safety in general? And I don't know, what's your guesstimate on how long that speech is?
I think if I had to guess, I'm going to say 6 minutes.
6 minutes?
Yeah.
We're going to play Biden Bingo when we come back. So if you haven't, I don't know if there's any cards left, but we put the Biden Bingo. There are 30 cards available. I think I'm going to invest in some more because I was just thinking, we have to play Biden Bingo during the State of the Union, don't we? We have to. So maybe I'll get some more cards than 30. Join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. We'll see what the president had to say when we come back.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Stewart's American Mortgage is helping Americans get the American dream of purchasing a home. When you buy your home, you got to get a mortgage, and you don't want to miss any opportunity to shape that mortgage in the best economical stance for you. Enter Stewie, my friend, and Stewart's American Mortgage. I am a 2-time bagel loan customer myself. I have gone through the process. I have worked with my own personal finances with Stewie to make sure that my mortgage is in the best position. And I'm very grateful for that because he was telling me, Annie, you got to get your rate down, Because my original mortgage came in 2015. They were higher. He refinanced twice. My rate went lower both times. Rates have gone up since then. I understand that. But if you're looking to buy a home, you still need to get the best rate that is possible. With the bagel loan, you pay zero in closing costs that other lenders out there are going to charge you for. Don't pay the extra money. Go with Stewie. Get a bagel loan. You can Google the bagel loan to find out more information, or call or text Stewie, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategy that has helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 38 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Here's something you won't hear from any other jeweler. Right now, when you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct, we'll give you a free gold setting for it. Yes, a 14-karat classic solitaire setting in white gold or yellow gold at no charge with any natural diamond purchase. So all your money can go toward a bigger diamond while you still get the classic look she wants in that engagement ring. Another example of Diamonds Direct's extraordinary value. Or if you want to take it up to the next level, Diamonds Direct also has a fantastic selection of halo, pave, vintage, 3-stone, and other popular mountings. Or maybe she wants a designer ring, like the one she's seen on social media. Well, Diamonds Direct has those too. In fact, we are an authorized retailer for all the top designers from New York and California. Whichever setting you choose, you'll also be able to choose your finance plan. Diamonds Direct now has a wide range of finance options with attractive rates and terms up to 60 months, so you can get the ideal setting to fit your style with the ideal payment to fit your budget. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Store hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Wednesday afternoon, primary results from Michigan. Also, former Israeli intelligence officer Avi Melamed in studio.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Can't stop, addicted to the shindig. Chop, chop, it says I'm gonna win big.
In the main, I caution against conflating immigration and crime. The data demonstrates that the two are not connected. Because the impact of federal immigration policy on localities has been under such consistent discussion in recent months, I do want to say a few words about this. It's my 18th year as a local government policymaker, and my work has overlapped with 4 U.S. presidencies and numerous iterations of Congress. All of them have failed to reach agreement on how to handle immigration.
Well, that is the mayor of Athens, Georgia. The crime stories that are coming to the surface right now that involve people who are here illegally. It's almost like with every one that is told, there are 2 more that come out and say, yeah, that happened here too, and that happened here too. And it's not what they don't want us to do is to say that immigrants are murderers. Okay, I concede that, of course. If just because you come here doesn't mean that you have that you are a violent criminal. Doesn't mean that at all. But it does matter when the murderer is an illegal immigrant. And anytime we see that with consistency and we understand that the ability for that crime to happen is because we permitted a crime of crossing the border and taking advantage of a situation where we are not policing our border and we're taking Border Patrol. I've seen it with my own eyes, people, so don't come here and correct me. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've talked to these people. I've been there. We are not policing our border. What the Democrats and what Joe Biden specifically have tried to do with our crisis at our southern border is funnel money and people to the southern border to get them in cleaner and to get them in faster, not to stop them from entering the country. That's the solution that the Biden administration has proposed, and it is going to continue to wreak havoc on our country. President Biden is speaking at the, what's this called? Do you have it back up there? He's speaking at the White House, and he is there to talk about crime and safety. And we're going to listen into it, and we're going to play Biden bingo here. So let's listen in and see what the president had to say. You got it up?
Hey, you and your fellow officers put on that shield. Walk out the door, and your families worry about receiving that phone call. But thank you for your service, and I mean it sincerely, your sacrifice. And sacrifice of that of your families, not just you, your families as well. And thanks to the law enforcement and community leaders here today who have helped bring down violent crime rates in their cities to historic lows. That's right, we're about to talk about what's going to happen now. You know, you just heard from the chief, and they salute these cities are making historic progress here. Last year, the United States had one of the lowest rates of all violent crimes in more than 50 years. Murder, rape, aggravated assault, robbery, all dropped sharply, along with burglary, property crime, and theft. And it matters. As president, public safety and crime reduction is a top priority for my administration and for me, and has been for a long time, back when I was chairman of the Judiciary Committee. You know, since day one, my administration has been working with law enforcement, mayors, and community leaders to do what we know works to keep people and communities safe. As was referenced, during the pandemic, states and cities saw violent crime rising, and their budgets were strained as they faced deep cuts in law enforcement and public safety. But we stepped up, thanks to the My American Rescue Plan, which I might note not a single person on the other team voted for. We provided $350 billion that was available to deal with these issues. You know, and the fact is that we find ourselves, we could use this money to keep law enforcement on the beat, communities safe from violence. We invested $15 billion to make their communities safer, and we added billions more in grants to help. The Justice Department invested in law enforcement and community violence interruption programs. Because the American Rescue Plan, we have the largest federal investment in fighting crime and preventing violent crime at any time in our history. And that's a big deal. You know, we know being in law enforcement is harder than ever, but we expect you to be everything to everybody. That's why we've invested in more crisis responders who work alongside police officers, as the Chief said, mental health and social workers who respond to nonviolent crimes as well. More investment in recruiting, retaining, and training officers. More investments in violent prevention to get guns off the street. And on top of that, we're hiring more U.S. attorneys, recruiting more U.S. marshals, and investing more in technology and training to clear the court backlogs, solve murders, and to deal with apprehending violent fugitives. And we're also working hard to ensure bonds of trust between officers and the people you all serve. My budget calls for more officers in the street, trained in community policing, walking the beat, working hard hand in hand with community leaders and partners and to gain public trust and advance public safety. Chiefs in this room know that when their communities trust the police, we can solve a hell of a lot more crimes a hell of a lot faster. That's why I signed the historic executive order to advance executive and accountable community policing, and it's very effective so far. You know, and I'm going to continue to call on Congress to pass the George Floyd Policing and Justice of Policing Act, so we can make police reform the law of the land. We also made historic investments in proven strategies to interrupt and prevent crime and violence in the first place. These programs use trusted messengers, including people who are in the neighborhood, people who have been incarcerated and released now, people who have been through it, people who know what they're talking about. And we have a track record of reducing violent crime as a consequence of that by 30 to 60% where those programs exist. And finally, my plan goes after the scourge of gun violence in America. I've taken more executive actions to stop the flow of illegal guns than any other administration in history. And we beat the NRA when I signed the most significant gun safety law in nearly 30 years. And we're going to finish the job. We're going to ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines next time around because it has to be done. I formed the first ever White House Office of Gun Violence Prevention, and I thank Vice President Harris for overseeing this important effort. Let me close with this. Our plan's working, but we still have much more to do, as everyone at this table knows. And that's why we're here today. My administration is going to choose progress over politics, and communities across the country are safer as a result of that policy. There is no greater responsibility than to ensure the safety of families, children, communities, and our nation. And with that, I want to turn this over to Neera Tanden, my domestic policy advisor, and we'll get this discussion going, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to invite the press to exit before we start
Live
our
audience. You've never done production for television in a live audience capacity, have you?
Yeah, I have.
What was it?
It was for our own TV show. So we've had some studio audiences, but we've
What was
also
it?
done like theater, song stage.
So how big was the audience?
About 450.
450?
Mm-hmm. It was in a theater.
How were you ever the warm-up guy?
I was the host of that show.
I'm not asking you if you're
Yeah.
the host. I'm asking you if you were the warm-up guy.
Oh, okay. So like coming out before the host? Nah, I don't think so.
Or the hype man in the audience who told everyone when to clap?
No.
Usually also the warm-up guy?
I don't think so. I don't think I have been getting that
If
guy.
you listen to Gutfeld, there's always somebody
Yeah, usually get a
that's television. Biden has that person.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I know that clap. Because they hit their mark every time. Wait for him, and then you need the immediate, like, right when, and I make this great point, God bless America. And then everyone's like,
Oh, yeah, me too.
I thought that was kind of
yep,
ridiculous,
yep.
terrible.
There's a laugher, too.
Yeah.
And I don't ever hear the individual, but the laughing comes on cue in times where you would not expect with Biden speeches.
I decided that I'm going to add to my bingo card list because I have 30 cards that are generated with the things I have, and I have more than the spaces that are on there. It's 24 spaces of things, and I'm going to add where he repeats himself. That is a huge crutch of him because it's just it's really the same thing that Donald Trump used to do. It's my favorite thing that he did in his speeches. When he was reading his speeches, he would make a point that was a good point, and then he'd go, "That's true." And I'm like, "Did you just find this out now? Are you surprised that you're telling us? Like, which parts aren't true?" It's like when my kid, okay, why is it that middle schoolers and high schoolers, and I don't know how old this gets, I don't know if it goes all the way up to like people in their 20s, the word honest, honestly, and to be honest. I don't want you to tell me when you're being honest. I want you to tell me when you're being dishonest. This should be a given. If you're going to say, to be honest, I don't really want to go. Just say, I don't really want to go. You don't have to say, to be honest. Just be honest.
It's like saying, let me just have a moment with you. I don't want to sugarcoat this. I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah, but when the person is 12, I'm not interested.
Okay.
I'm not interested. Like, I don't know. It's just something that I find so grating about kids speak. Do you TBH?
Yeah. No, I don't TBH at all.
Not do you, but you know.
I know. Yes. They don't say TBH to my face because I think if you make fun of them enough when doing it, it goes away. But yeah, kids speak, it's like they LOL. And I'm like, just laugh. Don't LOL, laugh. Lol.
They say it?
Yes.
You ever text somebody from across the room and they write back LOL and you were watching them read it? They didn't laugh out loud.
Ooh.
I've done it.
Ooh, yeah, I think I have.
I have texted LOL and realized I didn't LOL, and then I've tried to publicly be like, because I needed to be honest. And if someone calls me on it, I need to be like, no, I did, and be true about it. To be honest,
just LI, laughing internally.
I don't know. Isn't that
you
just,
can use that?
If you text, haha, that's the internal laugh. You have to spell it so that they know, because that comes from within.
Yeah.
If it's LOL, then that invoked an actual outward emotion. You can still be amused by something and type out ha ha ha, and you're still acknowledging probably that it was funny, or just maybe being nice.
I can't remember if this came up on the show or if we were doing it at the trivia night this weekend or what. But LOL, as I understood it for years, now most people use it as laughing out loud. I thought it was lots of laughs.
Oh my gosh.
For a long time. Yeah, and so I would use it and not think that I had to be laughing out loud.
Oh, I've heard of older people thinking it meant lots of love and then using it incredibly inappropriately.
like something terrible just happened. Oh, yeah, LOL.
My mom texted me and she's like, "Your uncle just passed away. LOL."
Oh, yeah.
No.
Whoops.
Lots of laughs.
Laughing internally.
Where did you get lots of laughs? Just came up with it?
Yeah, I know. I think somebody said that to it was very early in the texting world.
I was going to say, the LOL was in play when we were on Instant Messenger.
Yeah, and it probably was Instant Messenger. I mean, we're talking that long ago that it was the first time I'd ever seen it. I asked somebody what it meant, and they said lots of laughs.
Greg, are you for real? On YouTube, Greg says LOTI is laughing on the inside.
Oh, yeah, I think I have seen that before.
Lodi,
guys. Although you don't really say Lodi because
you also
it's
don't
supposed
say
to be
LOL because it's what you're doing, not what you're saying.
Yeah. I agree. Sorry, Greg. We disagree with you.
No, I don't.
Greg, we agree with you.
I agree with him.
A Lodi's a Cupronickel coin, paper money, and monetary unit of less flow. That's according to dictionary.com.
I don't know what you just said. I understand the abbreviations more than that. All right, let's take a quick break. If you are interested in playing Biden Bingo with us on the State of the Union, that might happen. I need a sponsor. I need a sponsor for $30. I think I'll sponsor it. All right. Let us know on the Annie Fry YouTube channel if you would join us to watch the State of the Union and play Biden Bingo with us. Let's get to some other news here on the Annie Fry Show, like who will win the 2024 election for the President of the United States, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or someone else. Somebody has unsuspended their campaign. Earth-shaking news. I'll tell you who when we come back.
The world I love, the tears I've dropped to be part of the way.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The world I love, the trains I hop to be part of the wave. Can't stop. Come and tell me when it's time to.
IGotFloored.com. That's the website. When you want your flooring, shopping, and purchase, the whole process done right, you join the rest of the St. Louisans who have said, yeah, I want to shop local. Yeah, I want to support a family business that has put its roots down here in St. Louis 30 years ago and continued to be successful working with people just like you from both sides of the river who go to visit those shops for Michael's Flooring Outlet. You really want to go to IGotFloored.com and you want to see what the talk is all about. They have reviews there. They're not ashamed of any reviews that they have, and they are always working to make sure that the job is done to your satisfaction. They care deeply about customer service, and they pair that with their dedication to quality and value. In St. Charles, they're located on Main Street in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70. In West County, they are on Olive Boulevard. It's just a mile off of 270 West on Olive. And you can also find their location in Darting Prairie. To get those listed out for you, you visit them at IGotFloored.com. You can read the reviews from real St. Louisans who have purchased their Techwood Plus flooring, their Mohawk Smart Strand carpeting from them, maybe a different product that took their attention and got their eye. It's all there at Michael's Flooring Outlet with the best people in the business, online at IGotFloored.com.
Without the ones like you who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
President of the United States. Who is going to be the next one? That's the YouTube live chat poll of the day. Is it going to be Joe Biden? Is it going to be Donald Trump? Is it going to be Kamala Harris or someone else? We like to keep tabs on this question, so let us know in today's Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll what your choice is. Not necessarily who you're voting for, but who you think will win. 147. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The events that shape this world are happening fast. Keep a level head and stay tuned to 97.1 FM Talk for Democracy 2024. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Don't be confused. The way is clear. And if you want it, you got it forever. This is not a one-night stand, baby. Yes. So
I think that people just don't understand why I would continue to go through this process. And, you know, they at first said, oh, it's all about her being vice president. I think I've pretty much, you know, gotten rid of that argument. And then they were saying, oh, it's all about 2028. Well, they realized if it was about 2028, I would have been out a long time ago. They can't wrap their arms around the fact that this is about me really putting the red flag up, saying, look, this is about the Republican Party and this is about our country. And here you have a candidate that if I get out, is going to be a candidate that cannot win a general election.
You can't win a primary. I don't know how Donald Trump's problems in the general election, which I understand she may be correct about that. But the American people are voting not in favor of what she's pitching. They are saying he may not be able to win the general election, but we're willing to try with Donald Trump and not with Nikki Haley. She's not even coming anywhere close. I'm not so sure that if Ron DeSantis wouldn't have stayed in the race, that she would be beating Ron DeSantis right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. All the problems that I'm not even saying I agree with the assessment that she's making.
No.
But even if you do, I'm not sure how she's fixing the problems she's saying exist.
You know what's not going to help? Her constantly bringing attention to that particular part of this race where she doesn't have a workable solution to solve it. I mean, she wants to be the solution, but America is saying no. They're saying, I was a Ron DeSantis supporter, but I always said, whoever wins the primary, I'm voting for. Go back to what I said at the beginning of the show. We are way more united as a party by who we aren't and what we aren't than what we are. And we need to live in that area, in that headspace, while we are trying to win an election. And if we win in a really, really big way, which we could, it's absolutely possible that 2024 could be an incredible election for Republicans. It should be an incredible election for Republicans. And you and I and all of us together are thinking it, unless the votes come out of nowhere and they've got them logged in well ahead of Election Day, because the ground game of ballot harvesting is so strong with the Democrat Party. You just don't, it's like you're competing against a team that you don't get to see on the field because they scored all their points before you got there. We understand that Donald Trump has a tough road to hoe. I believe that Nikki Haley would too. It's not like I feel like if Nikki Haley wins the primary that she's a shoo-in for the presidency. I think she'd have her own whole host of problems. But the American people are choosing Donald Trump. They're not choosing Nikki Haley. And if Nikki Haley is concerned about the Republican Party winning, and I don't despise Nikki Haley the way a lot of people have a lot of vitriol for her. I haven't invested a lot of energy in just like making sure that I keep up without atrophying my Nikki Haley hate muscle. I'm not interested in that. I don't have time for that. But if she wants to help the cause and try to close the gap of where Donald Trump is maybe the weak spot, not being able to win in November, this isn't the way that it's going to help it. And again, this is the horse we're riding with. That's just the way it is. There's no way around it. The YouTube live chat poll for today: who will win the 2024 election for president of the United States? Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or someone else? I know someone's like, you're asking this question again. Well, we ask it every few weeks or so. Try not to do it more than that. But we're interested in how your mood changes on this one and confidence in Donald Trump's ability to win or Joe Biden's ability to make it that far, or whether or not Kamala Harris is going to come across the stage. And if you've got suggestions on someone else who you think is able to come in and at this point and still win the election, we want to know who that is as well. Brian, what do you think?
I'm pretty sure that I've been saying it since 2021. Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States.
How confident out of 10?
I would say I'm getting more and more confident as time goes on. How out of 1 to 10? Okay, 8.
That's confident.
Yeah.
Brad?
I'm going to say it's Donald Trump. I'm just looking at this, and I don't think Joe Biden's going to be the nominee, and I think they're past the point where they can nominate anybody other than Kamala Harris without causing an utter meltdown in their party. So I'm going to go with Donald Trump, and I think that he could beat either Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. So in level of confidence, probably a 6.
That's a little more than average.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Donald Trump is Donald Trump today has he become a better politician? I really feel like we could have this conversation weekly and have dramatically different responses to it. Does he have what it takes to win the people? Like I was saying in the beginning of the show, if the left is here and the right is here and the middle was right there in the center, as the left gets bigger, there are people who are now on the right side of the center line who don't consider themselves right. But they are also looking at the left and going, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
Those are the people we have to win. We have to come together with those people. Because the alternative is losing. And Joe Biden, which means Kamala Harris at some point in the next 4 years. Is Donald Trump helping his cause yet as a candidate?
No, I don't think he's really changed at all. I think he's running completely on this is who I was then. This is who I am now. Nothing's changed. I think, in fact, that he is betting on the same number of people showing up to vote for him in 2024 as he was in 2020. And that is the play.
I'll tell you what he's done, what he's doing different now than what he was doing in 2020 is he's not tweeting. He's not on Twitter.
It's because they kicked him off.
They kicked him off. He's back now.
He created his own platform.
And he created his own platform, and he's truthing over there, but he's not tweeting out here.
You know what's funny about that? He got kicked off of Twitter. He creates his own platform, so I don't think that he contractually can go onto Twitter right now. Or there's something about that. Although that sale or whatever merger did just go through. There was something to that was kind of holding him back. But the funny thing is, he's putting stuff up on Truth all of the time, and you're like, he's not tweeting.
Oh, he still is.
No, that's my point.
Yeah.
My point is that a tweet is a tweet. Tweets aren't even called tweets anymore. They're called posts because it's X now. But the idea that he is out there with his thumbs going to town on his phone, sending out these messages all the time, and it's on his platform that was only created because Jack Dorsey and crew kicked him off of Twitter. He's over there screaming into the void, except for when people screenshot it and put it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we know that it's happening. Mm-hmm. He'll be back after he wins the election, I think.
The same is true of him being, I almost think the news is just not airing him. Like they don't want to give him space. You know, we don't want to air his campaign victory speech and stuff like that. And it's backfiring.
Well, it's almost like an involuntary basement strategy.
I that's exactly what I'm saying, is that it's like the less we hear from him, the base is still hearing from him.
Yeah.
They're turning up.
People who want to hear from him.
But the average person just isn't hearing from him as much. And that may not be the worst thing in the world.
I got to tell a really funny, sad story.
Funny, sad.
Yeah, this is a wild ride. Do I have 20 seconds?
Yes.
That's okay. That's all I need.
TikTok.
I told you somebody unsuspended their campaign. It's Marianne Williamson.
Yeah.
She says that she thinks that Joe Biden is vulnerable to Donald Trump. And just to the whole story, I can bring it together like this. I scrolled the whole front page of Fox News. That news broke this morning. It's not even on the front page. Marianne Williamson, good luck. We're counting on you. We'll be right back.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
I'm sure a lot of you spent in the last 24 hours a little extra time with your windows. Did you? Because yesterday it was beautiful, and you probably tried to avoid turning on the air conditioner if your house was getting into the mid to upper 70s, because it was in the mid to upper 80s outside. Crazy February, but we're used to it in St. Louis. When you were looking at your windows, did you notice that they don't have the seal that they used to? Maybe they're not really as attractive as they were 20 years ago, decades ago, when they were installed in your home. If you were in the market for window replacement, I want you to consider Window World. They offer you windows that are simply the best, also for less. And when you call 314-993-1800, that's 314-993-1800, you're going to be able to have a conversation with them to come out to your home, give you a free estimate, and learn more about why so many St. Louisans choose Window World. They come with a lifetime warranty covering all parts, glass breakage, and labor. 314-993-1800. You find them online at windowworld.com.
When you're selling your home, you want the most money and the least hassle. That's exactly what you get when you work with my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Mark Cox here. Selling your home is one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. That's why having an expert on your side is crucial. Right now, other agents know that some sellers will choose the agent that tells them the highest price. This can be a dangerous strategy. Most of the time, it ends up being an empty promise. Gloria doesn't make empty promises. She makes guarantees in writing. It's simple. Gloria will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she'll buy it. Guaranteed in writing. Take it from me. Pick up the phone and call Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit her online anytime and tell her you heard Mark Cox talking about it. GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
President Biden says he stepped up on fighting crime. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
As president, public safety and crime reduction is a top priority for my administration and for me.
He's claiming some credit for an overall decline in violent crime, highlighting a combination of executive actions, legislation, and funding during a meeting that included police chiefs from around the country, including some areas where migrant crime suspects have been getting a lot of attention lately, an issue that may resurface tomorrow when both the president and former president visit the southern border. Answering a few shouted questions during that event, the president telling reporters everything's great after his annual physical earlier today. No results released yet. He also says he'll be sorry to see the Senate Republican leader go after the announcement that a change in leadership is coming.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell's time as the longest-serving Senate leader in American history will come to an end this November, but he plans on staying in his role until then and serving the best way he can.
There are many challenges we must meet to deliver for the American people, and each will have my full effort and attention.
The Kentucky senator is now 82 years old, joining the Senate at the age of 42 in 1985 when President Ronald Reagan was in the White House.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on the Hill. McConnell does plan to serve out the remainder of his current term. The federal government is setting new protocols aimed at keeping personal information, including health data and financial records, away from countries like China and Russia.
An executive order prevents the large-scale transfer of personal data to countries of concern with a track record of misusing information about Americans by targeting commercial data brokers who can sell information that ultimately ends up in the hands of foreign intelligence services, militaries, or companies controlled by foreign governments.
Fox's Jared Halpern. America is listening to Fox News.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included when you buy an extended Silver Unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. Online only. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Lots of sunshine out there, but it stays windy and cold. The good news, the winds will be slowly diminishing, but 39, that's it for the high. Quite a change from yesterday when we hit 84. Tonight, clear, cold, light winds down to 22. On Thursday, sunny skies, cold start, chilly day, 48 degrees. Friday, sunny skies in the afternoon after some morning clouds, and 58. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The needs of modern businesses are always changing, but corporate cards haven't evolved in decades. Until now. Meet Ramp, the all-in-one finance platform that combines corporate cards with spend management software. Ramp is the only card designed to actually help your business spend less, not more. With Ramp, you can set custom controls to stop out-of-policy spend before it even happens. And Ramp software even does expense reports for you. No more manual entries, no more chasing receipts. And with best-in-class accounting integrations, you'll close your books in days, not weeks. Ramp gives you better insights and a real-time view of all company spend, so you can stay focused on the big picture and build a healthier business. Join over 15,000 businesses who have switched to Ramp and start saving an average of 5%. Modern finance runs on Ramp. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. That's ramp.com/free.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Do you have multiple years of unfiled taxes or owe more than $8,000? The attorneys at Allies Tax Relief are your ally and will stop the IRS from garnishing your wages or them levying your bank account. Call 800-230-5174.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
The voice for hardworking, free-thinking Americans.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We appreciate you being with us here this Wednesday afternoon. Really excited to connect earlier in the show with Sarah Gabel Seifert about everylife.com. It is a pro-life diaper company. So if you are buying diapers, if a loved one is buying diapers, I signed up and ordered a box of them for myself. You can also go to everylife.com and order a box of diapers to be sent to a women's shelter, a women's health care facility, and they'll provide those diapers for a mom who's looking to put a diaper on her baby's bottom. And I think that that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. Yesterday, Donald Trump wins the Michigan primary. Joe Biden wins the Michigan primary. And I think it was in the mid-20% of people who are uncommitted. I think it's first and foremost, those people are going to vote Democrat in November. Those people who voted uncommitted to Joe Biden are not people who are considering going to the middle on the whole. These are people who don't like Joe Biden's Middle East policy, and they've been encouraged as a protest vote to vote uncommitted in that primary. I think it's a really big detail that shouldn't be discarded, that in Michigan, over 1/5 of the Democrat voters don't want to see Joe Biden get it because he's not hard on Israel. I think that is telling.
Yeah, and numbers-wise, On the Republican side, it was about normal. 33,000 right now is what the count was for people who voted for uncommitted. That's a little higher than what the usual is for Democrats, which is about 20 to 30,000. So this is about 5 times as many as usually vote for uncommitted. So it's a protest vote,
but
essentially.
there was a campaign for this, too.
Yes.
And it was one that was led by Representative Tlaib from Michigan. The point is that the Biden administration is coming up to a point where they're going to have to choose their Michigan voters or their Jewish voters, because they've got some support, or they've got supporters within their party that will not come together on an agreement on that situation. And for both of them, it's deal breaker.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal, and that's why the Michigan Democrat primary was interesting, because obviously Joe Biden was going to win, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a big contentious protest vote included within that.
I'm going to push back on you a little bit.
Okay.
That's the only thing interesting about the Michigan vote.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's breaks the threshold of it being truly interesting. Like, I was watching last night, Fox News went back and was watching the shows. They were scrolling the numbers on the bottom. I think Brett Baer got to stand next to the big board one segment, and they just plowed through and went on to other things.
Yeah, I will say that the one thing I was watching was this uncommitted vote, because there's a story there, and it certainly did turn into a story. But second is the number. So most of the time, and a lot of times actually with these early primaries, you have states where lately that one primary was happening on one side of the party and it wasn't on the other. Well, this one was both happening at the same time, so that's interesting, first of all, because you're going to have not as many crossover voters for Haley, especially when you have a protest vote like this, you wouldn't have as many crossover voters. Overall, now I don't know if you can take this to the bank, but I just found this to be like the number 2 story that people aren't talking about as much. Overall, there were more Republicans that turned out for this primary than Democrats. I find that to be somewhat interesting.
It's not impactful because there's an actual race for the Republicans.
There's an actual race, although with the uncommitted thing, then you had some people who were more committed to show up to say something.
People said the same thing when more Democrats showed up in Iowa in the 2020 primary when people were voting than Republicans. People use that as a way to dig on Trump. Trump was the incumbent president.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are not going to pull people in to vote in a primary or a caucus situation when there's an incumbent the way you are when there's not. So I think it's apples and oranges. And I said that when Trump was in there, so I will reiterate my thoughts on it there when Biden is on. I think people are not motivated by Joe Biden, but I think that there are a lot of voters who support the not Trump vote. And every day that we march closer, what did I say, 251 days? Mm-hmm. Every day that we march closer to this election, something dramatic will change, and then change it back, and then change it further the other way, and then change it further back. And we're just going to have to hold on tight. I know what you're thinking. I wonder what Frank Luntz has to say about this.
Well, I agree with Gloria about labor, but the point that she raised, that the rank and file may not be on board, Donald Trump has the chance of getting a majority of labor voters. That's never happened in the Republican Party. When you talk about African Americans, young African American men are looking at Donald Trump. They've never considered voting Republican before. Now, on the other hand, I want to see what happens with suburban women, particularly upper middle class, who don't like Donald Trump, are willing to vote for Joe Biden and don't find Joe Biden's age to be a turnoff. So, Wolf, we've got all these cross currents happening. Michigan is the state because it could decide the election. And these voting groups are simply not behaving as they have been over the last 20 years.
I don't think it's surprising to hear that Donald Trump is garnering more support among laborers. When I went to the Granite City steel mill when Donald Trump came here, I think it was in 2017, that was when it was Mike Bost's district, and Donald Trump came in, and I was talking to they have these rallies set up where there's obviously the stage in the front, and in this particular rally they had a stand of bleachers, on one side, a stand of bleachers on the other, and then a stand of bleachers in the back, which is right square where Donald Trump can be like, oh, those people, the mainstream media. What does he call them? What was he call the media? Losers. I'd be standing back there, and I'm like, I'm not one of them. But we were in the media fenced off from the attendees of the rally, and it was filled with people who worked at the steel mill. And I would talk to one after the other, like, do you work at the steel mill? Yes, I do. How do you feel about Donald Trump coming to Granite City and highlighting this steel mill? Donald Trump's my guy. Donald Trump's my president. I love this guy. Would you come talk to me on the air about it? Absolutely not. And then they'd be like, they'd start to walk away. I go, I won't put anything out there that you say to me or whatever that, you know, I'm not taking your picture or taking your video or anything. I always wanted them to come on because I wanted to see what they had to say. But they do not, at that time, want to be identified as a Trump supporter, but they loved Donald Trump. And there is nothing that has happened between now and 2017 that has made the Democrats more the party of the little guy. They have become more and more the party of the elite. And instead of helping you get a leg up, they will give you what you're going to get what you get, and you're not going to throw a fit. And their only campaign slogan is that they're not Trump. That has been the play. And that's got to be running and wearing very thin on American consumers, taxpayers, voters who understand that the grocery bill is a challenge, who understand that the freedoms that they exist, that they have and that exist, that are given to them by God, those freedoms are under attack by the left every day in every possible way. Just listen to, we're talking about crime and safety at the White House. Joe Biden takes the podium to talk about crime and safety. He's not talking about migrant crime. He's got his fingers stuck in his ears, his eyes closed, and he's saying, la, 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 while this is going on, not paying attention to it, because it's, why? Bad for him. Migrant crime is an inconvenience for Joe Biden, the president of the United States. He won't mention it, he won't identify it, but he won't stop it. And the rest of us plebes will just have to live in Joe Biden's America until we decide better for ourselves. And if Joe Biden got elected because he's not Trump, it's about time to put Donald Trump back in there because he's not Joe Biden, or whomever else they're going to serve up on a platter, which might be Kamala Harris. When you are constantly seeing over and over and over again the Biden administration and the Democrats that puppet them, over and over and over again, every time they come out with a new initiative, it's one more pinch of your freedoms and your rights that are taken away with you because they're going to provide you with what you need. They can't provide you with squat unless they take it from you first. And the solution that they provide you comes with a whole bunch of regulation that in the end is going to cost you more than it's going to help you, but they know better for you. That's what they want you to see. Truly what that is a separating of individuals, the haves and the have-nots, the power and the plebes. This is the situation that we face on a daily basis in Joe Biden's America. Donald Trump says he wants to restore it to the American people, give the country back to American people, and make sure that the American people are prioritized first. He did do that in his first term. He's going to have to do some serious weeding of the garden should he be put back in the Oval Office after the November election. Listening to Frank Luntz talk about labor voters and their swing towards the Republican Party, we're hearing the same thing about black voters. We're hearing the same thing about Latino voters. And all we ever talk about is suburban women. Listen, as a suburban woman myself, when you listen to how these people talk about suburban women, it's the most offensive thing. It's basically like they're a bunch of overly moody, oversensitive women who are twiddling their thumbs with their feelings hurt, and they want to take the revenge out and make sure Orange Man knows how bad he is. That's pretty rude. That's not the thing that I'm thinking about when I'm looking at who to send back into the Oval Office. The thing that I'm thinking about is my children, and eventually my children's children. And the idea that the America that I want to hand off to them isn't a destroyed shell of what it once was. And I'm not so emotionally driven and cerebrally vacated that I can't understand that if I've got a binary choice between a Joe Biden and a Donald Trump, one of those cares about the future of this country and the restoring it to the excellence that it should be in. And one of them wants to grow government, take away freedoms, empower the people who are put into this bloated government to babysit the rest of us because that gives them the consolidated perpetual power that they so crave and worship. There's going to be a lot of dissecting of polls. You're going to go to Michigan, and you're going to see what you see in Michigan. But Donald Trump continues to win. Super Tuesday is next Tuesday. When does Nikki Haley get out? When does she say, I don't think Donald Trump can win, but clearly you all don't agree with me. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope you're right. That's what she needs to do. You think Donald Trump's going to win? 8 out of 10. You think Donald Trump's going to win, Brad?
Yeah, I'm about 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Donald Trump's going to win, and I'm a 5.1 out of 10.
Ooh. So you're an optimist.
Moving up on the scale.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
That's very optimistic for you.
If you've listened to the show, you're like, okay.
If you listen to this,
let's go.
Yeah, this is might as well be her saying 10 out of 10. It's over.
That was inflation on the scoring there. Let's take a quick break. Morning Fry Show around the corner in just a minute. Go vote in the YouTube live chat poll as well.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Air Comfort Service, online at aircomfortservice.com. You can reach out to them at 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. If your furnace isn't working in good order, you might need to have the system checked. Right now, they have a $55 heating special. If it's not meeting the temperature set at the thermostat, or if you've had your system cleaned, haven't had your system cleaned and checked out this year, don't put it off. Don't wait until like next winter when it starts getting cold again in November, December. Reach out to Air Comfort Service today and get it on the board and save while you do it. 314-513-0091. For a limited time, they're offering $55 heating specials to celebrate 55 years of keeping St. Louis in their comfort zone. They certainly have done that for my family. I have a furnace, an air conditioner, a water heater, all from Air Comfort Service, and have never had a problem with them once they've installed them. They have taken care of our family, and they will take care of yours as well. 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Call them and ask about the $55 heating specials today. You can find them online as well at aircomfortservice.com.
Spring training is here, and it's almost time to embrace the essence of summer and let the soothing tones of Cardinals baseball transport you to warm, sun-soaked days. With the free Odyssey app, relive the joy of tuning in with your transistor radio, now seamlessly connecting you to every St. Louis Cardinals game on KMOX. Wherever your summer takes you, make sure to download the Odyssey app today and savor the sounds of Cardinals baseball. That's AUDACY. Redefining your summer soundtrack. Live games available for fans and market only.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Well, February, of course, is the month for love. And when is the last time you gave your carpet the love and attention it deserved? Have you gotten down on your hands and knees and adored how clean and refreshed it was? You probably haven't done that. I do not recommend that. Do this instead, because your carpet is likely one of the biggest investments in your home. It's also the biggest air filter in your home. Let's clean it professionally with the help of my friends at Zero Res. And lucky for you, Zero Res is going to spread the love to you and your home with their Love Their Rug special during the month of February. Take advantage. Call 314-474-2020. Go online, ZeroResSTL.com. Take advantage of a great offer. 3 rooms, professionally cleaned, zero resified, as we like to say, starting at $119 plus a free hallway thrown in during the month of February. Let's not forget about the air ducts. During the month of February, take $50 off your air duct cleaning package when you mention my name or 97.1 FM Talk. It's super easy to make the appointment. Call Zero Res. They have tech all over the St. Louis region. 314-474-2020. Online, ZeroResSTL.com. Mention my name, Mark Reardon, or 97.1 FM Talk. Get the February deal. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. same.
You've listened to 97.1 FM Talk. You've heard of Doug Voss of Voss Financial and Safe Money Radio, as he has been a staple as the financial expert on the station for many years. You can hear him on Safe Money Radio several times a weekend right here on 97.1 FM Talk. And you can talk to Doug Voss directly. Here's his number. Call Doug at 844-676-SAFE. That is 844-676-7233. Doug Voss is a registered representative. Securities offered through D.H. Hill Securities, LLLP. Member FINRA and SIPC.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. If your furnace isn't working, get in your comfort zone with 55 years of award-winning HVAC service from Air Comfort Service. Mention the Annie Fry Show to save $55 off any service repair at aircomfortservice.com.
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. We've talked about how COVID hit and, people work from home, people had to learn from home and teach from home, people that weren't teachers. And this whole comeback that we have had since everything has been opened back up, there's an element of socialization that is not fully translated, I think, in the workplace the way it was before COVID. There were expectations of just how business would take place in the workplace that I think have definitely not come back and maybe won't ever come back. What kind of things can you think of right now that we don't do that we used to?
I would say the work situation is the biggest one. Not for us. I don't think our job personally has changed. It did while we were in COVID, but I think it's back to normal. But there are a lot of people now who work either a hybrid schedule or they work entirely from home who did not before. And I think that's been the biggest change to American society.
You didn't work from home.
You didn't.
Nobody worked from home. Working from home was like a certain kind of job you did. It wasn't really an option. And I don't think it was really something that people truly sought out before they had to do it and went, I could live like this. I didn't mind working from home in the time that I was in my basement studio at my house, which was a storage room that we had to retrofit into some sort of studio space, which actually turned into a pretty cool studio space. But I don't really use that. I can do show prep in there, and I have my computer and my stuff down there. But it's certainly a different experience. The room was like alive when I was broadcasting from there. And now it's kind of a different situation for just like show prep and research purposes.
Yeah, it really has changed a lot of, it's changed real estate, for instance. There are a lot less people seeking out commercial real estate than there used to be. I think that's been the biggest permanent change. And the thing was, we had the technology to do it at that moment. It already existed. COVID stepped on the gas pedal to make it more possible. I think we're finding a happy medium with that change in the United States right now, because all of it, all or nothing, is not really the way either way. But having kind of a mixture of the two, I think a lot of people are a fan of that.
The regularity of having people in the office, though, you're on a team, you're working for a common goal. Even if you're working in different departments, you're still working to have the business, the company, whatever it might be, succeed. And you can kind of celebrate victories with one another when everybody is working from home, or what is, I think, a lot more regular now, some sort of hybrid system. People are coming into work, but you might be in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and someone else is in on Mondays and Wednesdays, and nobody comes in on Fridays. So you don't see your colleagues the way you used to. There is a business, a CEO of a $3.5 billion security company that is trying to get the workers to socialize. The company is Verkada. And Yahoo, let's see who's Yahoo's Fortune Story. It's all a part of the company's 333 perk that lets employees expense up to $30 in food and drinks if they go out together in 3 p.m. After 3 p.m. in groups of at least 3. So if you go out in a group of 3 after 3 p.m., you get $30 to spend on food and drinks. The CEO, Philip Calazan, said, "We wanted to make it easy for employees to hang out," which is interesting for me to listen to that, because what I hear the Gen Zers saying is like, work can't be life. Like, you need to just go to work and then leave it be. We come from a time pre-COVID where you often developed relationships and friendships and all of that with your colleagues, and you would do a lot of socializing. And it was kind of expected that you're going to give of yourself to the company. You're going to work for this thing that is bigger than yourself. And it's not just about the paycheck. It's about the win. This current generation seems very much so to be of the mind that we're not going to do, like, work ends at this time and I'm going to go on and live my life. The work-life balance thing.
Yeah. It almost seems like it's so, like, the way I feel is like we're working to build something bigger, that we're working on being part of something bigger. And it seems to me, and I'm probably going to make a lot of Gen Z people mad when I say this, but it seems to me that Generation Z right now is about what can I get out of it. And if it doesn't offer me what I want, then I ain't interested in offering a whole bunch of my time to it.
Yeah. If you talk to, or if it's, to me, more my experience is based on like what you see people discussing on social media, or if you know people in your personal life. And the first reaction of most people in society right now is, but me. What about me? And the difference, I think, between Gen Z and we are millennials, and then Gen X, of course, ahead of us, we know what it was like when it was different. So it's not a matter to say that if you're a millennial, you don't think about me first, or Gen X, that you're not thinking about me first. There are absolutely those people. There have always been those people in those generations. But right now, the default is me. You ask a coworker a question, and the entire response is about that person and not about the goal at hand, the point of what you're trying to work towards as a team. And I think that is broken when you start building relationships because you care about the people you're running the race with, and you're less likely to just all be feeling like you're in it fighting for yourself. So like the more you bring those people in, the more the barriers can come down and say, no, I think your success actually will lend to my success, and my success can actually lend to your success. So it's an interesting take to say, hey, after 3, go out with your teammates and have a drink.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a pretty good business move. That's why he's doing it, is because he's saying, look, if these people like each other, they're probably going to pull for each other a little bit more. And it is, Annie, it is a generational thing. It absolutely is. Because can you imagine, and this wasn't our lifetime, but people who are above us, older than us, will probably remember. I mean, we know the quote. Can you imagine a president now saying, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country? It would fall on deaf ears. There is no sense in which we are asking people to do that anymore. And it used to be kind of baked in that if we're going to make this work, and fill in the blank on whatever this is, America, your company, your relationships, whatever, if you're going to make this work, there's going to be some sacrifice. There's going to be some service, is probably the better word, that you're going to have to put in for us to make all this work. And people understood that, and people did it.
Man, I see that this sort of attitude, like, it pervades every aspect of society. It's not just work, but like people, like they look at it in marriage. Well, why is marriage a good thing for me?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, well, the good thing is A, it's for society. And then B, they're like, if it doesn't serve my purposes, I'm not doing it. Well, yeah, it's going to serve your purposes, but it's not just to serve your purposes. The other person in marriage, you serve their purposes and they serve yours, and you give of each other. And that's what marriage is. And then you make a family, and then you raise the next generation, and you teach them values, and you pass it on. There's so much people out there that are just like, no, but what if I build this whole life and then I get married and it doesn't work, and they take half of it? You know, that's their mindset. What about my stuff? What about my aspect in this? What about my angle? I wonder, Ryan, if this is even going to be an effective strategy. And the reason that I wonder that is because, we heard Cardinals kind of talking about this in the clubhouse. It's like it's hard to relate to this generation. There's a generational gap there. Maybe it doesn't work because some of the younger people or some of these people just don't want to hang out with people at work. That's work, and that goes over here. And my personal life and my fun life go over here, and I don't want them to touch or blend or anything like that. And so it doesn't matter how much money you offer me to do it with these people, I'm not going to do it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that boundaries are incredibly important, and I think that you have to make those decisions very carefully on how. To me, if I blend work and my home life too much, then it's hard for me to make sure that I'm always prioritizing my family. And I have a very clear priority in my mind about who gets my time first, and that's my family. That's my children. And if something is going to take away time from something else, it's always going to be work taking away time from my family. My family will never take away time from work. And the more that I get asked to do things and show up places or to speak, and one of the things we're going to be doing in March, that's official, right? The March for Life?
Yes.
In St. Louis. I'm going to MC that. I'm so excited to be doing that. But I get asked to do these things, and the first thing I do is check my calendar and make sure that my calendar, that if I say I can't go to this thing with you, kiddo, that I have a good reason to say it. And when I explain it to my kids, I can't go to this because I'm going to go to this, pro-life protest or whatever it might be, or march or whatever it is, that they can hear me say that and understand what it is I'm saying. I do think, too, that the current attitude that crosses all generations, the me, the selfish, or more not selfish as much as self-centered, like the idea that everything should be about self before it's about anyone else. You really do miss, like, the dirty little secret here is that if I end up working with and rooting for Ryan's success, it ends up being my success. Mm-hmm. And it's bigger than you could create it for yourself. And if Ryan and I are working with Brad and we're all trying to, lift as much as we possibly can, we can lift more together than we can if we're apart. And if the conversation becomes one where another person is included in that discussion and it's not about the team lift, then it's not going to be successful. One of the great things about this station is there's Mark Cox and Mark Reardon. I mean, we're here. Brian Kilmeade has been a very active part of what we have done here locally too, but we all are helping each other with the lift. And there can be a lot of drama that exists there, but there really isn't. And because we understand the lift of 97.1 to be bigger than than Annie's radio success. This could be over just like that for me. I mean, I could get a call after I walk out of this studio, and this is over for me. And they will put somebody on in my place. Might not be. It could be somebody from somewhere else or whatever it might be, and it's over for me. And then I got to figure out what next. So if you want to run the race as successfully as you can, or lift the greatest lift, you're going to need to do it with people, because those people after the fact are the ones who are going to get you through the next thing. And I think we do that really well here at 97.1, and we are in good, strong voice, and very proud to say that in the almost 6 years that this show has been on in middays, there's not a single time ever in my career that anybody has ever told me what I can say, what I can't say, what I can cover and what I can't cover. And that won't change. And I hope that people understand that the idea that what 97.1 was built to be and how it was built and who was here as it was built was the idea that the listener was there at the epicenter of everything. And we were there to help be the pulse and the heartbeat of what you care about. And that has lived on to this very day. What was it, 2000 when they started?
2000.
We're almost 25 years in to this radio station being the common sense conservative heartbeat of St. Louis.
And the neat thing is, you asked this poll question the other day, how long have you been listening? I think that was Friday. How long have you listened to 97.1? I had to think back because I think it's over 15 years, although I don't know the exact date when I started. But for me, it was when I started listening. It was because, and still is, even though I'm here, it was a voice that needed to be heard. It was a viewpoint, a worldview, an opinion that I was not hearing in the media otherwise. And it's still the reason I tune in. Like when I'm not on, I'm listening a lot of times to Brian Kilmeade, Mark Cox, and Mark Reardon, because I really enjoy hearing, and there's a variety of opinions on the station, but
yeah, Mark and I could come and do a show together, and it could get heated.
Yeah, it absolutely could. But that's kind of why it's important. I was going to say fun, but it's more that it's important to have those discussions, because while we're all pulling kind of the same ship, like you were just saying, and I've really never seen, I've been in music radio, I've been in talk radio. Talk radio is very different. News radio is very different because the shows are very siloed. We've got our producers, we've got our teams, and then we leave the studio and we'll talk to each other. But then the Mark Reardon show comes in and they have their team. It's very possible in those environments to be very, very competitive, and there's a lot of ego. That's not the way it feels here, which is wonderful because I think we all realize there's a greater cause.
Yeah.
And we realize that there are a lot of people that are represented by the things that we're talking about and the angles that we're taking, positions, things that we're looking at that don't exist otherwise in the mainstream media. And that's why people tune in.
And you can't do it if we're all in it for ourselves.
No.
It won't be successful. You'll be able to hear it on the air. And that's not the way it rolls here. I do support the idea of going out with your colleagues. I do also like that they have it be at 3:00 because to me, that's still on company time. And there's a big difference between saying, take two friends, clock out or whatever, head out at 3:00, spend some time with one another. Because to me, it's just a little bit of an investment in saying this is bigger than yourself. And we'll help make that possible for you.
And to me, they're not monitoring the $30 because I could get potato skins and skee ball for $30, or I could get all potato skins. Doesn't really matter.
Well, Hunter does make a great point, Ryan. Would you read Hunter's YouTube comment for us?
Sure. Coming at this cold here. It says, it was clear to us that that you guys can say whatever you want when you spent like 10 minutes talking about these nuts. Okay. And the music.
He wants 10 more minutes. Yeah, literally.
Tomorrow.
Russell says we do need an update. No, we don't. Let that go. Let's take a quick break and get the results of the YouTube live chat poll when we come back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Fry Show.
Jules on Hampton in St. Louis Hills is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches on site. Jules on Hampton is a premier jeweler with an exquisite selection of diamonds, semi-precious stone jewelry, and vintage watches. Their expert design team can restyle your jewelry to today's contemporary style. They also do jewelry and watch repair. Need extra cash? Jules on Hampton is paying some of the highest prices on gold, silver, diamonds, semi-precious colored stones, and fine watches. Bring in your collectibles and clocks, sports memorabilia, and figurines too. Jules on Hampton, 4506 Hampton, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Call them at 314-752-5000. Jules on Hampton.
If you're facing $10,000, $20,000, even $30,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt, stop struggling to stay afloat and call Accredited Debt Relief today for faster relief. Depending on your financial situation, you may qualify for a 40% or higher reduction in your monthly payments and only have to make one consolidated monthly payment you can afford. Accredited Debt Relief has helped over 300,000 qualified consumers pay off over $1 billion in debt, earning them an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. This is the light at the end of the debt tunnel to become debt-free. So make the call to Accredited Debt Relief now and see how much you can save. There's no obligation, so call now and get relief from your debt faster.
Call 800-354-4554. 800-354-4554. That's 800-354-4554. Program and services not available in all states.
I'm embarrassed to say this. I've been using deodorant on my armpits for 30 years, and anytime I noticed odor anywhere else, I thought I needed another shower, I wasn't clean, or I felt like there was something wrong with me. And then my gynecologist told me about Lumi. It's a whole body deodorant for pits, feet, and privates that controls odor anywhere and everywhere on your body. Since Lumi, I never have to worry about body odor ever again, anywhere on my body. And that reassurance is worth every penny.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 300 and get an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, free product of your choice, and ships free with code 300. LUME deodorant.com, code 300 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. With over 200,000 5-star reviews, I am so sure you're going to love it. Or return it for free. That's LUME deodorant.com, code 300 for an extra $5 off a Lumi starter pack. LUME deodorant.com, code 300.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com. I can see clearly now thanks to the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, and introducing Samuel Berry. You can too. Call 314-966-5000 or check out youridoc.com. That's youridoc.com.
We ask this question every now and then, just kind of dip in, see where you feel about it, because things change. It's the YouTube live chat poll of the day. Who will win the 2024 election for President of the United States? We talk about it a lot, but we want to know what you think. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, or is it someone else? Let us know. Type in Annie Fry on YouTube. That poll will come up, as well as the chat, and you can participate there and let us know what you think and why you think what you think. 246, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. I had some audio shared from the Kirkwood School District Board meeting on Tuesday night, which revealed a very troubling pattern of violence and sexual assault at Robinson Elementary. We're going to get into that coming up here after 3 o'clock.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow.
Fast food.
Yes.
Where do you work?
I worked at Dairy Queen and Taco Bell.
Oh, Dairy Queen. Okay. What about you? You never did fast food, did you?
Never did fast food.
I never did fast food either. I was a banquet server, cocktail waitress, busser. I was never just like a waitress. I never had that. That seemed like a really big responsibility. I think I could have done it, but I just never went into a restaurant industry. I was always working. Well, no, I was a busser. That's not true. I actually think sometimes I worked harder as a busser than the waiters and waitresses worked sometimes, but being a busser is not fun. Really good character building when you're 16, though.
Now, my wife was a waitress for a long time, and she loved it. She loved interacting with customers. She worked at a place called...
I could totally see her being really good at that.
Yeah, she worked at a place called Walker Brothers Pancakes in Chicago. So if you're from Chicago, you would know that place for sure. She was really good at it, though. She said, I made good money because everybody liked me, and I was able to handle, spin a lot of plates at once.
Do you tell her the same thing about your job?
And that's what I said. I'll make a lot of tips, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we give you tips
chats
all the time. Super chats.
Super chats,
on the Annie Fry YouTube. Here's a story. You said you worked at Dairy Queen. Now, when you go to get ice cream at McDonald's and it's after 8 o'clock and they have ice cream, are you like, I should buy a lottery ticket?
Oh, yeah. I can't believe it. I will sometimes drive through and just see, because I live right by a McDonald's. I'll drive past the menu just to see if they have it blotted out.
I've gone to get ice cream maybe after a sports game or something, and somebody in our situation maybe got trucked or something like that, or played a hard game, maybe came out with a good win. There are lots of different reasons to get ice cream after a game. Most of the time, it's not winning. It's usually other things. And there's only a McDonald's in the town, so you're like, okay, let's go by. And I'm prepping the whole family. We'll stop, we'll see. But when you drive up to the drive-thru and it's 9 o'clock at night, and you're like, do you guys have ice cream tonight? And they go, we do. It's like, you're as surprised as I am.
That happened to me the other day, and it was because of the Shamrock Shake. I'm like, oh, the Shamrock Shake's here.
Is that minty?
Yeah, it is, and it's good. And I was
I've
like,
never had one.
I gotta go try at least to get one. And I drove through, and they had it on them. It said out of everything on the menu. So I said, as I was saying it, I saw, oh, you have it marked off. And they go, no. We actually do. We actually have it. I'm like, oh my gosh. And the menu says you don't. This is incredible. And they shared in my joy.
So if you, okay, I'm just going to read the headline from the New York Post. Or no, I'm going to read the story. Employees at a Kentucky Dairy Queen were forced to eat ice cream that had been tainted with cleaning solution. It sent some of them to the emergency room.
Forced?
Why?
A manager at a Campton, Kentucky location of the chain called all employees to a mandatory staff meeting Friday night. Nothing like a Friday night mandatory meeting at DQ.
Those were the worst.
I would just be like, I think I'm done here. Because you can go to the fast food restaurant across the street, and I guarantee you can get a job.
Yeah.
Called them to this Friday night mandatory meeting where they forced the staffers to down the chemically contaminated soft serve, quote, whether or not they liked it.
What the heck?
According to the parent of one of the young staffers, I was livid, Angela Patton told WKYT of the moment her 17-year-old daughter came home and told her what happened. The mother said they were told by the manager that whether or not they liked chocolate ice cream, they were going to eat it today. Some of the 8 employees who were involved were taken to the hospital following the meeting. She told the CBS affiliate some of the kids had complained that they had a burning sensation when they swallowed the ice cream. Her daughter has since quit the food service job, and the Wolf County Sheriff's Office is investigating. We still have multiple people coming in to give statements, but as of now, it's still under investigation. Banks said he was unable to discuss the incident further since minors were involved. No charges have been filed as of Tuesday. Patton says she plans to meet with a lawyer in the meantime. It says the chemicals in many cleaning products can be deadly if consumed in large amounts. What is wrong with people? And also, it's one of those times where that 17-year-old kid, it's one of those times where you're raising your kids to get a job, to work hard, to do what they're told, to meet expectations. And then they get faced with this psycho manager who's like, eat the cleaning contaminated ice cream. And you're like, I quit. Mom's going to be pissed, but I quit. They need to know to quit.
Yeah, that's one of those situations. Although so once you said there were multiple kids and then they'd been in the hospital, I'm like, okay. Because my first reaction when I hear a 16-year-old says that their boss forced them to eat chemicals, I'm like, yeah,
that's all the food. No,
that sounds like the story of, oh, my teacher said I was dumb and that I'll never amount to anything. It's like that probably didn't happen. You interpreted it that way. But if there's multiple kids all saying, yeah, this was ice cream contaminated with chemicals, and we're all in the hospital.
In the hospital.
Like, oh, well, okay.
It doesn't say in the story why the ice cream was contaminated. I would assume that the manager thought that the workers contaminated it. Like maybe they were sloppy in how they cleaned it. And it was like, I'll teach you. You don't get to do that.
I see, yeah.
You don't get to, it's like if you're at home and your kid is flinging the pizza slice around and you're like, put the pizza slice down on your plate when you're not eating it, and they continue to do it and they drop it on the floor and you're like, you're still going to eat that.
Yeah.
You don't get to do that if you're the boss, and you don't get to do it if there are cleaning chemicals involved ever.
No, you don't send people to the hospital.
No.
It'll teach them a lesson.
But at the same time, how does she think that this is going to or the manager, male or female, I'm thinking it's a female. How do you think that this is going to go? How do you do something like this and think that it's just going to be between, us girls?
I think I'm going to turn to our DQ expert here. Brad?
How do they think that they would get away with that? Or what do they think? They weren't thinking about what was going to happen. They were just mad that there was chemicals in. What my guess is, if I had to speculate, these kids did a sloppy job cleaning. There were some leftover chemicals. Somebody complained, and they're like, okay, enough is enough. The right response is to make those kids redo it. You're going to have to clean this machine all over again, and you're going to have to make extra sure that there's no chemicals in it because you can taste it in there, and people are going to get sick. You don't go, here, eat it all.
FR says, I'm sorry, but if my child came home and told me that, you'd probably see me on the news. Yeah. If I'm just trying to put myself in the scenario where my child has been forced to consume chemicals because of your rage. Fire. If my kid did it, fire them. Like if my kid was screwing around and did something that, maybe the point was you were irresponsible in how you cleaned it for the 10th time and we could have served this to somebody and I want to show you what it would have done to them and I'm going to do it to you. You don't do that. You just say you're fired.
Yeah.
You don't poison them. You fire them.
That's one of the things
simple.
that the manager above that person probably should have told them.
And should have fired that manager.
Yeah,
yes.
Here's my plan. I'm going to poison our workers.
Yeah, we need those people.
The interesting thing, too, though, this says a manager at this Kentucky location. A manager could be 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Also true.
So maybe there's too much high expectations on just society as a whole. The YouTube live chat poll for today: who will win the 2024 election for president of the United States? Ryan?
Donald Trump.
Brad?
Donald Trump.
I say Donald Trump as well. I am a 5.1 on a scale of 1 to 10. 1% of you souls out of 226 people said Kamala Harris. It's not looking good for Kamala.
1%. Wow.
1%. Maybe Kamala Harris is listening
Who
to
are
the show.
you? Tell us in the chat.
Yeah. 7% said someone else.
Okay.
81% said Donald Trump. 11% said Joe Biden. So you feel pretty good about this. This is the most confidence we have had in Joe Biden as the victor in November. We are 251 days away. Next Tuesday is Super Tuesday. And then I think the Thursday after that is the State of the Union. And we're going to invite you guys to play Biden bingo with us for the State of the Union address. It'll be a little bit longer for him. Everybody always talks about, wow, he was so vibrant for 30 whole minutes. It's like he is in charge of the free world. Good thing he's got 30 solid minutes in him. We'll see next week. The Mark Reardon Show with the latest on the news when we come back.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
The needs of modern businesses are always changing, but corporate cards haven't evolved in decades. Until now. Meet Ramp, the all-in-one finance platform that combines corporate cards with spend management software. Ramp is the only card designed to actually help your business spend less, not more. With Ramp, you can set custom controls to stop out-of-policy spend before it even happens. And Ramp software even does expense reports for you. No more manual entries, no more chasing receipts. And with best-in-class accounting integrations, you'll close your books in days, not weeks. Ramp gives you better insights and a real-time view of all company spend, so you can stay focused on the big picture and build a healthier business. Join over 15,000 businesses who have switched to Ramp and start saving an average of 5%. Modern finance runs on Ramp. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. That's ramp.com/free.
Did you all hear what's going on with these energy mandates? I've been told they don't make a lot of sense. And I'm in the business. I agree 100%. Actually, they make 0 sense. So here's the easiest thing, and the only thing I have on a recommendation. You're going to need a new furnace or a new air conditioner. Just call me for a just common sense approach to your heating and cooling needs for your house. If your system is old or you just want to replace a system, now just call me. It's Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest and the only one, Missouri and Illinois, is 314-293-2600. Again, it's Bart Inman, 314-293-2600, or on the internet, it's bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I,